Hey, what's up, Bob?
Hey, man, what's up? Doing one last check, and then we'll start talking about something.
We can't talk about anything right now.
We can. I'm
What are
just
you
making
checking
sure
for?
just checking my mic level.
You're not checking to make sure that Russian hackers haven't breached your mainframe?
I mean, I assume Russian hackers have already seen me basically do everything: have sex, masturbate, anything that's in this room with a camera available on any device. So,
You don't have a little paranoia sticker over your
no,
camera?
I don't. There's nothing to hide. I'm not doing anything illegal or interesting.
Well, I don't know about illegal. Like, I don't do much illegal in front of my camera or in front of my computer or in front of my phone, but like, I still, wouldn't want pictures of my wiener on internet.
Some people, I'm not into that, but I get what you're saying.
I mean, if I were proud of it, I'd be all out there. Like, I'd show it to you right now if I was a big fan of it. But like,
that's an interesting topic. You're not proud of your own wiener?
No. What? Are you proud of yours? Do you got a monster hog?
It's fine. I mean, I've never asked for reviews, but I've never gotten like a negative review, at least to my face. Negative reviews probably aren't to your face though.
These OnlyFans ladies, they're always so nice. They're like, "Hey, taking free dick rates today. Send me your pics." And I'm like, "You're adorable. I know my shit's trash. We don't have to go there. I don't need a 5-minute video of you audio dick rates available today." Who wants that?
Well, I mean, isn't that like what is it? SPH, small penis humiliation? That's like a whole like.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah, it's a whole subsection of porn, and
I don't think I don't think I'm into that. I haven't like looked at it.
Yeah,
I'm betting. Like, I'll put my money down. I don't think that's my deal.
I mean,
that's going to turn me on too much.
I think it's pretty selective, and like it's for a very select group.
Like, I should probably know by now. At this point.
Okay, so I've had friends who do that type of work tell me that there are men that aren't, let's say they have good junk.
Okay.
And they still want to be insulted and stuff because that's, sex positive, everything is fine.
No shame. I listen, everything is for somebody. Some things are not for me.
Yeah. I don't know.
I wondered about that. Like, do they have like I don't know.
I like tried that once with a partner and I was not into it. Like I was like after 5 sentences, I was like, all right, this isn't working. I'm too arrogant. You need to build me up.
All right. You don't have to name names, but I want you to share one of those 5 sentences.
Oh, that's nothing specific. It was like, it was just saying it's small and useless.
Oh, small and useless.
Because that's what
small, useless skin worm into me.
It was like a discussion about kinks and stuff, and then
and they were trying you out. They're like, "Let's feel you out.
Let's try it." Yeah, and I was like, "It's not working. It might even be true. It's just not working, man. Lie to me, please." Yeah, so I'm not one of that subsection, but I get it. I get it. It's like people like pain. Pain's supposed to be bad.
Rich, you know about pay pigs, right? Like,
I don't ever heard that term.
It's like where you the woman is the sex worker is always like humiliating the guy into paying them more, like, because the guy's so rich.
Oh yeah.
Like dudes who are like have so much money just love to be humiliated into paying more money for it. So pay pig is what those guys are, and that's just like to have so much money that you would I don't know. Like I'm all for paying sex workers. I think you should absolutely do that. I'm
let's
definitely
put that on the table, like 100%. No one is.
But if I'm like, okay, this person over here is offering, I don't know, their services for like $5, and this one is offering their services for $200. I don't know. No. This isn't exactly the comparison I was trying to make. I was just thinking about, like, if you're gonna pay for pictures of boobs, which you should pay for pictures of boobs.
Absolutely, yeah.
But like, I don't know. They're not like, it's the same resolution of photo over here. It's just you pay $200 because you're a rich dude who likes to be
humiliated,
abused into paying. Yeah,
it makes sense though. If you're like super rich, the way that you humiliate that person who has gained that type of power and focused type of power, is like that's the only way they actually have vulnerability is you take away their money, right? So there's probably something there.
Plus, there's a thing. There's a weird thing. It's counterintuitive to those of us. I hope you won't feel offended if I include you. It's counterintuitive to those of us who
I don't know yet
aren't independently wealthy.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
But like a lot of brands, like luxury brands, have found through market testing and stuff that they have to charge a certain amount or else rich people won't buy their stuff. Like rich people generally aren't out there looking for bargains, right? Like there's a whiskey. Is that what I don't drink it, but there's a liquor brand called Chivas Regal, and back in like I don't know what decade, I'm gonna fuck it up and say like the 80s or something or the 70s, their sales were plummeting, so they decided that literally the only change they made to their product was to jack up the price like 300%, and they started flying off the fucking shelves, man. Yeah,
I've thought about that with like local screenings and stuff in Baltimore, which I don't think would actually work here because most people that surround the creative space are not wealthy. But I've thought of that, like taking one of my films or something like Soda Milk or something like that and make a screening that's publicly advertised to be like, you know, $300 a ticket and then just see who shows up. And if no one does, I mean, we're really just losing money for the venue, but it'd be interesting to see if anyone would pay that money to see a YouTube video that's being projected on a screen. But somebody would, though. I think
you think so?
Yeah.
For Soda Milk. I mean, I'm still holding out for my fucking Steelbook.
I know.
Box set. Little miffed, sir. We got a little bit of resentment. We got some beef.
I do have like a broken computer that has a Blu-ray drive in it. If I can get that to work, I could make you one.
No, I demand a box set of some kind. Even if you take like a Phantasm box set and Sharpie out Phantasm and write Soda Milk on there. Oh my God, if you did that.
And then sell Phantasm to people? Yeah, I don't know.
No, sell Soda Milk to me. Like I want Soda Milk. I want my Soda Milk box set. I was just thinking how hilarious it would be if like Michael saw a photo of a Phantasm box set with like Phantasm scratched out.
Yeah. This is Michael J. Epstein for anyone listening.
Michael J. Epstein. Oh yeah, there's people.
There's other people that we know mutually. But yeah, like I would love to make that. It's just like you're the only person that wants that, dude. But I'm flattered because you watched every episode, and I can't say that for all my friends. And I don't blame them because Soda Milk is so like it's so like asking you not to watch it the whole time.
It's a punishment.
It's punishing. A lot of episodes we were like, we literally filmed something we know it's not for anyone.
It's not for anyone except for David Alan Grier. The whole like David Alan Grier season.
Yeah. That made that whole thing worth it. Honestly, the fact that he followed me on Twitter, still follows me, and then he watched an episode. Never would have thought that this stupid thing would go that far. So I was happy to see that there was no bad blood, that you were an EP on the Milk Soda spinoff. That was good news. That there was no beef between you and Launchover over that. Right. No, we still talk. It's strained, to be honest with you. It's strained. I believe that. Anyone listening, if you go to, it's been like 12 minutes of inside jokes. So I made just to give for anyone that doesn't know us personally, which I don't even know anyone that might listen to this that doesn't know us personally. I made a web series for a year with my friend Mike called Soda Milk. It's on YouTube. It has its own channel. Michael J. Epstein and Sophia Cassiola from Launchover made a parody of it when they first met me. Homage. It's an homage. Sir. It's homage. It's wonderful. Don't denigrate. That was not a denigration. Their artistry. It's not a denigration at all. I was beyond flattered for it, but it's on their channel. It's called Milk Soda. So yeah, you can watch all this for free because no one would pay for this unless they're paying $300. You should call it like a $300 paywall on Vimeo. Imagine how mad people. Jesus. And we were talking like the other day about how no one wants to pay $12 for a feature.
Right, for a
and
fucking
I'm charging $300 for an episode.
Well, that's what it is. You can't aim because we were okay. So what we were talking about, this is we were talking about how like we have friends, we know people. I don't want to.
We know people. We know people.
We know some people. We know some people who are making movies and they're exploring all the available options for how to make money off the movies that they've made. And
justifiably,
no shame to them. No shame. Like, your work, your labor is valuable and it deserves some kind of recompense.
Yeah.
But they're thinking like, well, maybe I can charge $12 on Vimeo and like that's cheaper than a theater ticket. And so people would definitely buy that, right? And the truth is no one's going to do that.
It's also a matter of like, and how can I say this? Vimeo, while we know what Vimeo is, normal people
I think you said your grandma doesn't know what Vimeo is.
My mother doesn't know what Vimeo is. I mean, like, I have friends my age who like Vimeo's a thing they might click on a link every now and then and be like, what does this YouTube look weird? It's not number one, it's not YouTube, and people don't know what it is. So you're asking them to go to a site that they're not completely familiar with and then pay a fee that they could get a month of Netflix for.
Right.
It's very, it sucks. I'm not saying it doesn't suck, but it's
balls. It's straight balls. Like, like this is not a, well, this is a path we probably don't want to go too far down, but like we do not live in a country that is very like welcoming or supportive of artists. Right. I've said it before, like I for the festival, I watched submissions come in and like whether the movie itself is garbage or not, whether the story is the content is trash, basically all the movies that come in from Europe just look better than the movies I see in the US, from the US. In terms of submissions, in terms of like short film submissions.
You mean like production quality wise? Production
quality wise, they just have tons more money. Like when you have more money, you make a better movie, and just in the sense that like
a better looking movie. Let's say that.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna I don't know. I don't know that I'm gonna do too much qualifying on that because it's better than like I said, even if the movie's trash, even if the story's dumb, even if it's one of those movies where it's like, I complained about this recently. My favorite genres of short film, including things like actually, what's his name? Brian. Oh my God, Smith, Brian W. Smith. Do you know Brian W. Smith?
Yes, from the Genre Blast Circle site.
Right. That, he added one on my list that I really like, where he called it "Woman is Killed." That's it.
right. Yeah,
that's a genre of movie that I get a fucking lot of. Now, "Woman is Killed." That's it. Shot for $400 in the U.S. versus "Woman Who's Killed." That's it. Shot for like, I don't know, 2,500 euros in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, they're both bad. They're both bad movies. They shouldn't exist. They're shit movies. Stop making these fucking movies. I scared my cat.
I feel like you need to describe it more because women being killed in a movie happens. It's just the way it does. It's the way these are framed is usually not okay.
No, you're right. But to finish my thought real fast, I'll tell more about this movie. But to finish my thought real fast, it's like the one that's made with dollies and the area Alexa rented because they have arts grants and shit like that. It's a better movie. It's like here instead of here, but they're both trash.
Right. Absolutely. You're right. Also, I would think that the people that you can get are more willing in other countries to help with art. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to say that Americans don't like art, but
I'll say it.
It's harder. I think it's harder to ask people to help you with something that ultimately is only going to be a piece in the end. I can imagine if I was in France, they would be a little bit more forward with like, no, making this is important. Having your, I can imagine that. I've never been to France, so I don't actually know, but
I guess
America.
I don't know if you know this, but I grew up in Europe. I feel like
Germany, right?
Germany and Belgium, actually. But, everything's so close together that we took a week vacation one time. And in 7 days, we visited 5 different countries. Like, it's all just there. It's like, we spent, I don't know, like half an hour in Liechtenstein because Liechtenstein is about that big.
Isn't it interesting how people from there have more different worldviews instead of the landlocked
shocking.
people here that have
Shocking, isn't it?
can't see beyond their fists. You know what I
I know,
mean?
man. Like they one of the concepts that I don't think gets I mean one of the 10 million concepts that don't get enough attention in history class when you're in school is that the US to be clear, okay, I'm gonna say the next like 3 sentences that I'm gonna speak are gonna be grossly oversimplified. Okay, like staggeringly oversimplified.
Okay.
But
yeah,
first of all, the U.S., the people who wound up making the U.S., they arrived on this continent after 95% of the population had been killed by a plague that white people had inflicted on them a couple hundred years earlier, right? So that's something that, you know, I didn't learn in school ever, right? It was like,
and I grew up here, and I wasn't really taught,
it's not.
It wasn't worded like that. It wasn't worded like that. I actually learned that we killed them with disease from like Ace Ventura 2. Like I learned that fact from a movie and not the classroom, you know?
Yeah, it's like they tell you, you know, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to get, but the thing I was getting at is the thing that I don't think gets enough attention is that the US got away with tons of shit because of the geography of it. Because it's a continent, like we have most of a continent that's separated by 2 oceans from anything else, you know?
Yeah.
And so it changes everything. You feel like the country kind of feels like it's God's favorite child, right? Because we just gonna get left alone for so much of history up until trade and stuff turned really global. It was like the US was just sort of left alone. And meanwhile, Germany has to negotiate constantly with France and with Spain and with fucking Russia. And
they have to be part of a community of nations.
Right.
Whereas we just kind of were left as the king of the hill.
We do whatever the fuck. And now we're like naked, scratching our bellies on the couch. And we're like, fuck with us.
Right. And that's not really conducive to art.
Not so much. No, that's why we have these $500 million tentpole movies every fucking year that like 6 of them come out a year and they each make $3 billion. And like, you just want to fucking hammer nails into your penis while you watch them. I don't know. You don't.
I don't. No, I don't.
You don't.
But I'm letting you, I mean, you know,
I appreciate it.
We're already half a glass in, but I feel like we disagree on a lot, but I respect your opinion. And I don't think the criticisms are invalid. You know what I mean? Like, and I know that you definitely want to nail something in your penis if you're watching some of those things. But
dude, can we talk for a minute? Okay, I know I've told you this story, but I just want to make sure that I alienate literally everybody who watches your podcast, and
especially me, because like they'll probably be watching, you know, with my taste in mind. And
right. And they're like, who the fuck is this asshole?
We like similar things. There's similar stuff.
There are things we like. Yeah.
There's like a really heavy connect and then like a disconnect, like on top of that. Yeah.
I should remind myself that I'm here trying to convince people to support a thing I'm making. That's like my whole point.
I was gonna say you might want to go easy for the plug.
Easy. Easy. Yeah. I just want to gripe about Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
One
of the least liked MCU movies.
Is it? Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better.
Easily, yeah.
Because it felt like someone was smashing me in the face with a brick dildo for 2.5 hours. It was shit. It was
I'm surprised
so phenomenally stupid.
Watched it. I'm surprised you
bothered. I don't stop movies generally. I will tell you. Okay, so here's more people for me to alienate. There have only been 2 movies I've ever stopped at home. One was this movie Inventing the Abbots, which I guess nobody really knows about.
I've heard it.
It's like Joaquin Phoenix and Liv Tyler. It's just and Jennifer Connelly.
Hey, Abbott. No, it's not that.
It's not. It had nothing to do with them. I don't. Maybe it did. I didn't.
But how great would it be if it did?
That was the big twist I was waiting on. I guess.
Man, I kind of want to make a movie where like there's a guy cloning Abbott from Abbott and Costello. Inventing the Abbott. Never mind.
I got it. The other one was Say Anything. I got about half an hour into Say Anything, and I was just bored to tears. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to stop it. But other than that, I finish movies when I start them at home.
I respect that because like a lot of the time I see online, especially Twitter,
Mhm.
people will say how a movie was shit and start bitching about it, and then say I actually turned it off 15 minutes in. And I was like,
Oh wait.
well, your opinion. I mean, like I'm fine with somebody hating a movie,
Yeah,
but you
if
have
you,
to watch the whole thing.
I think
You know,
I think if you watch a movie for 15 minutes and say, this is terrible, I hate this, and stop it,
that's fine.
you can then go complain about it as long as you append your complaint with that fact.
You
You
have to
say,
say the first 15
the
minutes
first
of
15 of this
yeah,
minute, 15
yeah.
minutes of this movie left me bored to tears, and that's why I left. So
But
that's what I say about Say Anything. I don't know what happened in the last, like, I have friends who have strong opinions about the rest of that movie, but
I
the
saw.
first half hour of it just fucking bored the shit out of me, and I was
Yeah,
like,
no, it's
I
not.
can't do it.
I wouldn't have recommended that to you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I've seen people though go all in, like 2 paragraphs of just bitching,
Yeah,
and then at the bottom is like, oh, by the way, I turned it off. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was like, no, your
It's like
opinion,
you can't do that. You can't do that. Okay, so I
You
said
can
append,
legally do
you
it,
should
but you
start
shouldn't.
with that. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you can write 15 pages. If you can write 15 pages of review about the first 15 minutes of a movie,
Sure.
good luck. But just legally, you should be required to say at the beginning, I only watched 15 minutes of this movie. These were my observations.
Right. Okay, that's fine. As long as it's at the top.
As long as it's at the top, that's a good place.
I guess I don't want you to waste my time with me reading a bunch of paragraphs and then finding out you didn't finish it.
You didn't even fucking finish it. Yeah.
How many movies have we all watched where it's like the first half you're like, Jesus, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then at the end you're like, I get it.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to make it to the end.
We live in the fucking. Oh, I got to be careful. I was about to say you might want to cut this out. Like if there's a sudden jump.
I don't edit this, so unless you're saying something extremely offensive.
Well, I was about to say
please don't. You mean
we live in the era of the Save the Cat audience, right?
Oh yeah.
There's got to
right.
There's got to be a Save the Cat. There's got to be a hook at the beginning to get everybody interested. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's invalid. That's not a wrong way to make your art, but it's a way to make a certain kind of art. And I feel like it doesn't, I often complain, like it makes no sense to me that we refer to say, and this is not specific to movie making, but like if we refer to Eraserhead and Infinity War as being in the same art form.
Right.
And it's just baffling to me. That makes no sense to me. But
they are though. They're moving pictures.
They're moving. In fairness, I feel the same way about like when you compare, I don't know, the Lady with a Guitar to some fucking Thomas Kincaid hotel room painting. Right. It's like, how are these things the same thing? And that's my misunderstanding.
Which is I think that's interesting that you say that, specifically you, because I think we've talked even on your show about people invalidating short films as real films, which you know what I mean? Like, can you compare a short film as just as real as a film as a full-length feature? I
think so, but I think the same way about short films that I do about like short stories. Like I one of my biggest I am just fucking complaining about everything right now.
There's no rules here, man. On your show we have to talk about a movie.
We have to talk about a movie. Here we can just I didn't get my shrimp, by the way.
There's the title is so superb.
So they're not out in the mailbox right now. Like
I was like, during the pandemic, I was like, I don't have a show where I can just talk to people. What do I call it? Oh, right. Mike wrote a song like a year ago. And
do you remember? Okay. So do you remember, I don't know how long ago this was a trope, but for a while in sitcoms, and I assume in American life, there was a trope that like, Wednesdays were pork chop night.
Yeah.
And
Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday. Okay, I guess that one still exists exists now. I don't think that existed for Archie Bunker. Like Archie Bunker probably never had Taco Tuesday.
I don't think he would like tacos.
Not a big fan of the Latins.
No.
Archie was.
Yeah.
But like that didn't happen in my household. Like we didn't have meatloaf every Thursday night or something like that.
Yeah.
Was that your growing up experience? Was there?
So I came from a very Italian family, but oddly enough, my own mother is not.
Okay, then lasagna Thursday nights. I don't know. It didn't have to be fucking meatloaf.
In my house, we didn't have that. My mom just made chicken constantly. And then on Fridays, I would go to my grandma's to eat which would probably be pasta. Let's be honest. But that would be the like pasta Friday, I guess. Because it was my grandma from Sicily was making pasta. It was too fucking great. I miss it so bad. That's how I got fat.
Is that pasta?
Oh God!
So you went ate at your grandmother's house every Friday night.
Yeah. We sat around the table. Man. And
I had like so little exposure to my extended family.
Yeah.
Like my dad has 6 siblings, and like I can name them if you ask me to. That's about it. I think I remember 3 of my cousins' names. That's about it. But like we grew up overseas. My dad left, like everybody. My dad's family is from the panhandle of Florida, which is like the worst part of Florida. Right. It's just swamp trash, the whole fucking panhandle. I can say that because I'm swamp people. Like I'm descended from swamp people.
Fine, you can insult Florida. It's a Baltimore podcast.
I live there. You have a lot of listeners in Florida.
you maybe, I don't know.
Me?
Yeah.
None of your fucking listeners come to my festival, do they?
Please go to the Sick and Wrong Film Festival.
Please.
I didn't even introduce you. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah. So, was there a structure to this? Like, I was complaining. Like we left. My dad had a shitty home life, and like on his 18th birthday, he went to the Army recruiter, and he's like, I need to join the Army right now. And they're like, okay, cool. What do you want to do? And he's like, well, I really love computers. I like working with computers. And they said, cool, we can get you into a computer MOS. Ships out in 6 months. And he said, no, I need to leave today. Right. And they're like, okay, well, you could be a tanker. And he's like, well, I'm definitely claustrophobic, but it leaves today. All right, I'll do it. Fuck it. And so
I gotta leave. You don't understand.
Yeah. So he became a tanker for like most of his Army career, just so he could get the fuck out. So anyway, we left. Like I have a bunch of family up in the Panhandle. I don't know any of them. I don't. Whatever. They don't know me. We don't.
If it makes you feel better, I don't know most of my blood relatives because. My grandmother had 15 siblings, and my other grandma, and like all of them were like that. They were Catholic, Irish Catholic or Irish Italian. It was just like litters of bunnies.
Are you devout?
You mean Catholic?
Yeah. You're big. You go to mass.
You should know by now. I mean, if I'd be a terrible Catholic. I used to.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
What did you like about it? What did you enjoy about Catholicism? What was fun?
I think the Catholicism has like almost a superhero level, like comic book level of rules and structure. Yeah. Like when I was a kid, I almost looked at it like all the angels were kind of like, they all had a specialty power. Like one can help. My mom literally would tell me, like, you pray to
Christopher versus, if you're
pray
traveling,
to St. Andrew to find things. You pray to like they all had their superpowers and stuff. And so as a kid, I was like, I thought that's where like pop culture came from, is like the reality that is heaven. Structured a lot like our movies and stuff. Like, and I really enjoyed that, until I got older and I started questioning all of it.
Well,
but I also liked the community of it. I get why. Whenever somebody says I don't understand religious people, that's the part I'm like, I get it. You go to a place and you feel welcome, and everyone thinks the same, and you're all part of something. It's hard to pull people away from that.
No, absolutely. And it's why they live longer, man. Like the fellowship rituals are why people live longer. That's why I keep trying to come up with ways that we can like organize some kind of secular, ritual for people to get together and have fellowship with each other without requiring some kind
belief.
It's
hard though, because what does Richard Dawkins always say? He says like it's like herding cats.
Oh,
you just can't do it.
Fuck's sake, man. I guess that's I'm here right now, I guess, probably to promote the Sick and Wrong Film Festival, because that's the thing that I do.
Fat Fleshy Fingers.
But Fat Fleshy Fingers is the thing that I'm working on right now, which is an anthology film. And I thought I was super smart, because I'll be like, oh, I'll make an anthology film. Then A, I don't have to direct anything. And B, like, instead of trying to make a feature movie, like, we can just make kind of a bunch of little short films. And I realize now, and I realized very quickly that's wrong on 2 counts. First of all,
this is a great admission, by the way.
Yeah. I'm like,
hey, donate to this campaign.
No, you should. You should. That's the point. This is what I'm learning. What I'm learning, because first of all, it's not a bunch of independent short films. Like that's not it at all. Like that's just no shade. I swear, I'm not throwing any shade on anybody. There exist anthology films right now that are basically shorts blocks at a film festival, right?
Yep.
Here's
Absolutely.
2 hours of short films. And I have enjoyed the hell out of a lot of them. I have both ABCs of Death sitting on my shelf over there. And I bought ABCs of Death 2.5 off Vimeo.
I worked on that one.
I heard you did the munging one, right?
The munging with I helped on Clint Kelly and Jason. Yeah, Kutch.
We'll talk about that in a minute because that's fucked up and you guys have problems.
I didn't write that. I didn't write it.
But I am not going to make one of those, and my filmmakers don't want to make that. They want to make sure we have all agreed that there's a thread to this movie, that there has to be something running through it to keep it all. Otherwise, why wouldn't we all just make our own features and run in different directions with them? So
right.
That's the first big thing that I learned. The second big thing that I learned is that, fuck's sake, man, trying to get 10 human beings to show up in the same online space
you don't even have to leave your fucking house
at the same time is a fucking nightmare. It is nuts. Yeah, herding cats is what that's a great way to put it.
And that makes sense too, because all the people you've chosen are like extremely creative minds.
They are.
And as we both know, because we're both obviously extreme geniuses and creative.
Obviously,
it's hard to like. I almost was late for this, and I was in the other room eating, and I was like, "Oh shit." I was like that, you know what I mean? Like my mind doesn't work like that. I know, like you're hurting those people to do a very complicated thing.
Yes, it is. Yeah. And it's. I don't want to sound. I don't know what impression I'm giving at the moment. I'm pretty like before I poured myself this beer. We had these little margaritas, little like pre-bottled margaritas. Jen made quesadillas tonight. Jen's back there in the corner.
Hello, Jen.
She's holding very still because she drank 187 milliliters of a pre-bottled margarita and it just took her out. She's like hosed.
I'm glad you're nice and loose. Okay.
Yeah, man. I'm fucking these lips are sinking some ships tonight, man.
Jesus.
You can like probably cut that out, maybe.
No, I'm gonna leave it.
You're gonna leave it.
I don't. So this is here. If you want me to admit something on like par with you, I don't like. I listen only in like. I just check to make sure everything's okay. I don't re-listen to this stuff.
You don't.
I was there. I was there. I don't need to hear it again. No.
Every one of the to date, I have released 101 podcasts, or 111, one of those two, 101 or 111 podcast episodes of my stupid podcast, and like
you went hard, quick.
Oh, I did. I jumped right in, and I only didn't listen to one of them.
Was it mine?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't like it wasn't even because of any of the content. It was just because like I needed to get it out. It was like midnight on a Sunday, and I'm like, fuck, the thing's supposed to come out Monday, and I'm like, all right, let me just check the levels, no peaking, everything fine. Okay, I can remember some little bullshit for me to put in the blurb, you know.
Right.
But other than that, I listened to them all the way. I just listened to, however long I talked with Michael Epstein about Conan's. Right. The Conans. That was a lot of fun. I like this. I will say, okay, I don't know what this makes me sound like. I kind of love listening to my own podcast.
Geez, that sounds amazing. I love listening to the sound of my own voice. That's literally an insult people make about other people.
Right.
That's like something you say about someone who's arrogant.
God damn it. Well, I mean, okay. Now you said,
I get it. I get it. I like watching my own movies.
I mean, yeah, the shit that we do.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage us. I don't want to encourage us, and I don't want to encourage anyone to be like us.
Right.
But to do the things that we do, we have to kind of have a sort of innate sense that we matter for some reason, right?
Sure. No, I get it.
You make a movie, you make this fucking thing about the guy who fucks a microwave, and like then space slugs who created the world enlist them in a cosmic battle, right? And you think, okay, I made this thing, and first of all, I don't know if anybody's listening to this who hasn't watched Time Crave. Go fucking watch Time Crave.
I mean, I assume anyone listening to this knows me.
It's probably in it, right?
Or they probably hate it. Like, I don't actually, because of the script podcast, I don't really push my stuff that hard because I think the people that listen to that, we talk about cheeseburgers or what you said, Save the Cat stuff. And we note that. We note that there are movies that aren't Save the Cat. You can't talk about those movies like we're talking about these movies, you know?
Yeah.
So like, I don't talk about my stuff that much because I'm like, the people that want to hear the lessons in this show would watch my stuff and be like, I'm never listening to anything.
I can't trust him.
Yeah, I can't trust him. So, but I'm not trying to do that.
Yeah.
So
no. It makes like I don't want to sound. I know what I sound like. I know what I sound like. What have I said so far? I took digs at the MCU. I said. I said that fucking Iron Man 2 made me dumber. Watching it made me dumber.
But
and I
honestly,
stand by that.
like seriously, Iron Man 2 would be one of the movies in that whole pantheon that people would say is the worst. So
yeah,
you're actually not insulting really anyone. Like I like Gary Shandling showing up, and that's about it. I'm happy Gary Shandling got work.
I went and saw Captain America: The First Avenger in the theater when it came out.
Right.
And I liked it. Like while I was in there, it's like a Michael Bay movie, right? Like Michael Bay, I haven't seen a lot of his later stuff. I've only seen one Transformers movie. I will not see another one. I'm sorry. I know you've tried to sell me on the number 5. Like,
no. I haven't tried to sell you on anything. Our mutual friend Michael told you about Bumblebee and he enjoyed it.
Okay, he enjoyed Bumblebee, but that wasn't Michael Bay, right?
I'm not trying to sell you on any Transformers.
On any of the Transformers.
No, why would I do that to you?
But the thing about Michael Bay, like I will watch Armageddon. I have the Criterion Armageddon. I will watch Armageddon.
So do I, dude.
I will be a fucking bawling wreck at the end of it because Michael Bay knows how to manipulate your emotions in the moment.
Absolutely. I feel like we talked about this on we talked about it on one of my episodes of your show.
All right, so let's take a quick breather. Let
I'm
everybody
a Michael Bay fan. Everyone go listen to that. I've been on like 5 episodes though. But I've always said I don't like profess it too loud, but I'm a big Michael Bay fan except for Transformers movies. I like everything he's done, and I don't understand some of the criticisms of him that come out from the internet. Like saying he doesn't understand character and stuff. If you watch Armageddon and you watch The Rock,
even
and Bad Boys,
man,
these have character arcs. The performances are good. The movies are fucking gorgeous. Also, by the way,
true. I mean, because they're like, okay, so there's this thing. There's this like, he comes from a music video background, and the thing about
even softcore porn, he directed softcore.
Did he really? I bet they're gorgeous. Like the thing is, when you're making a music video or you're making like a perfume commercial or something, right?
Yeah.
Like you have such a narrow window of time that, like, let's say with a perfume commercial, you have 30 seconds to show people, and you are dedicated to making all 30 seconds of those look as balls out amazing as you can, right? A lot, and I'm not calling names here, but a lot of feature filmmakers think, okay, I don't have to sustain that for 90 minutes or 2 hours. I can put my scenes in and say, this is going to be one of my perfume ad scenes. This is going to be my perfume ad scene.
This is a beauty shot, and then there's some people talking.
Michael Bay is like,
every shot.
We're making a 2-hour fucking perfume commercial.
Yeah.
And you know what? It is fun to watch.
It is.
And like, it gets you caught up in the moment. And it's not till afterwards that you realize, wait a minute, that was kind of dumb. Because in the moment it's like amazing, and who gives a shit? Like that's what you're there for,
And so I think I said this. Doesn't matter. So the theory on Michael Bay to me that I've heard that I really enjoy is that he tried to get a little bit more serious when he made The Island.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
It's like kind of the least seen of his movies, which is the point. It is his only box office bomb.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then what happened? He spent years pounding us in the face with Transformers movies that literally make no sense.
No.
And it almost feels like he's trolling us.
You think so?
Because he's not only trolling us, he's making like billions of dollars every time he does it. It's working.
Yeah.
It's almost like an angry thing, and it works.
The Transformers movies to me seem especially insidious, and I'll tell you why. Really I don't know after which one it was, but there is a person, Michael Bay, wanted to stop making Transformers movies. He got tired of them. He didn't want to make any Transformers movies. But there is a person behind the scenes who doesn't get credit on screen, who is an uncredited producer on these things, who said, no, you are going to keep making those. And it was Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg makes buckets of money off these fucking Transformers movies.
He's a producer on them.
Yeah. And so he's like, no, you can't stop. You need to go make some more. This is what you do now, Michael.
Also, Michael Bay flip-flops his opinion a lot.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, like at one point.
I mean, he doesn't seem like a kind of guy I'd want to hang out with very much.
No, I would not want to hang out with Michael Bay. He is not the kind of guy to be my friend. But
Seems broy.
yeah, he's very broy. He plays a frat boy in a Mystery Men.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, it's his only. Yeah. I think it's one of his only acting credits. But I appreciate him as an auteur.
Mm-hmm.
He is not one that we traditionally would call that, but I do feel he's an auteur.
He totally is. And
he totally is. There's a great series of videos by Patrick Willems on YouTube where he goes through the whole thing and like, talks about it, shows visuals and everything. He skips over Transformers. Is like, we're not going to talk about
We're not going to talk about Transformers.
But it's all there. Like, he is an auteur. He has a style. To say he's some kind of random bullshit explosions guy is a very hack, stupid bullshit answer. It's just
it is a little embarrassing that he reuses some of his like car crash scenes or whatever. Yeah. Like, come on, man. They're giving you $500 million. Just fucking shoot it again. Jesus.
At the same time, though, he brings those movies in on budget and time, which is
crazy.
I mean,
yeah, no, he's not. He's what is he? He's not. Fuck, I don't know. He's not an artist.
It's hard to talk about on like, especially the guy who's making Sick and Wrong Film Festival,
right.
and me, the guy who makes.
I need to talk about that.
Well, we will. I plan to do that at the end.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like we're gonna
primacy recency, right? Like we get it in at the end. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I've always been very honest. I've always been honest with you about stuff I love. Even we
were talking about your penis at the beginning of this conversation, right. And you're okay with it.
I'm okay with my dick.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm more concerned about my art. But in the circles that I feel like we run in with film stuff, it's hard to be like defend Michael Bay because I actually really love his shtick and I know exactly what's wrong with it and like why it might not be good for society, but still I appreciate auteurism and fun. Yeah, I like fun and stuff. So it's hard to defend. I have a Bad Boys 2 poster hanging up in this house. Okay. Yeah. Like
what do I see? I see Beverly Hills Cop.
2. That's signed by Judge Reinhold. That's signed by Judge Reinhold. This is Terminator 2 signed by Robert Patrick. And that's Bogus Journey right here.
I liked, I don't know how actors do what they do. I don't know. What actors do when you see a good actor. And you've been on. I assume you've been on set with good actors. I'm not going to ask right now, so you don't.
Not my. I mean, yeah, no. I mean, some of them have been in my stuff, but I've been with good actors on set. Yeah,
I've been with good actors, and the whole time I'm watching them work, I'm just fascinated by it, and I'm thinking to myself, why are they on my stupid fucking thing, But like,
what makes you say that? Oh, Robert Patrick. Okay.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about Robert Patrick because he had this thing I read about where like he sort of. I don't know if it was like an animal thing, like a bird or something like that, but he had this idea that the Terminator, the T-1000, like perceives with its ears. So he does these head movements in that movie that are so distinctive. And like I, as a director, could never have told him to do that. But that's something that a great actor, it does. They bring on their own, they bring something like that to their role. And it's just incredible.
I feel like we never really got hit after this movie. We never really appreciated him. Because if you watch a lot of his roles, he goes in deep. He's a character actor.
He is. Yeah. But he's too handsome to be a character actor, though. That's why he never turned into Brian Dennehy or something like that because he's just too good looking.
Have you ever seen Striptease, the movie?
God damn, he's an amazing looking dude, man. I did see. Was he in that?
Yeah. He's like the drunk ex-boyfriend.
Shit. It's been a long fucking time since I watched
the movie's okay. The movie's.
I remember a Vaseline covered Burt Reynolds.
yeah. It's a funny movie. It's got stuff in it that's funny, but his performance as a drunk ex-boyfriend is incredibly funny. And every time I watch it, I'm always like, how come we didn't get more of this from him? He didn't appreciate Robert Patrick. I mean, I'm sure now he just comes on a set and everyone's like, oh, it's T-1000. But I think he is more than that. Because
I think he's like a legit actor.
He's a legit actor. And he was also an incredibly cool guy when he signed that.
Oh yeah.
Totally cool dude. Total class act. Yeah.
I wonder whether he would like be willing to Q&A a double feature of T2 and Double Dragon.
I think I saw like a Wayne's World like anniversary screening.
Oh yeah.
And they had like
he had a little part in there.
Yeah, they had like a live Zoom of like the cast and crew, and Robert Patrick was there, even though it's just like
It's
a
just
couple
like
seconds.
14 seconds of
And man, he couldn't. Nobody could be happier to be in Wayne's World than that guy. I was like, this guy is enjoying every second of it, and he's
That's
like,
awesome. That's awesome. Yeah.
I gotta imagine he has a sense of humor about Double Dragon, because God, he looks insane in that movie.
The hair is like so tall. That's so
Oh
fun.
man, his whole outfit. I think that movie's hilarious. It's really fun. Yeah, but he seems like he has a great. How did we get to Robert Patrick?
I don't know, man. Like, I think you said T2 because we were talking about. I don't know. Fuck, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
No, we were talking about how like it's hard to defend Michael Bay. Yeah, right. I don't know what it's like with, because Sick and Wrong is weird. I get such a bizarre cross section of filmmakers. Like, I have filmmakers, alumni of the festival, who, like, I look at their movies and I'm like, okay, this is part of the canon. You belong in the Sick and Wrong family. And then they come to the festival, or they watch it online last year, back in 2020 when it was online. They watch it online, and then you meet them afterwards and they're like, what am I doing here? Everybody's so weird. And I'm like, dude,
you made that movie.
Like,
yeah,
where'd
right.
that come from? You know,
right.
Like, but I mean, it's fine. I love all the.
Isn't it crazy how like personality dictates also how you feel about a movie? I feel like I get that a lot from people. Like, I know even when like we first met in person with Genre Blast, I specifically know people that watched Time Crewave and fucking hated it, but since have gotten to know me, and it warmed up to them.
So
like they got to know me, and then they understood Time Crewave better. You know what I mean? Like it took that. I don't know if that means
you hate Time Crewave. Like, what is?
I can't answer that, but it's because I can understand somebody hating stuff. I can understand someone hating the Jerry Show. It's not, if I showed my mom
somebody hating the Jerry Show,
right,
for sure.
But I think, like, you know, they get a perspective when they meet you. Sometimes they go. They put two and two together and like, I see how this came from that person's mind, and I like their mind. So now I understand this.
Yeah.
You know?
Sophia and Michael were both certain that I was some fucking edgelord before they met me.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. Yeah.
I mean, I can't blame them. Like, the what I put out there. Like, I just realized we were writing, you and I, gasp, we have like contact outside this podcast, but like
they know
we had to write bios for ourselves today for this thing we're working on.
Literally, like an hour ago.
Like an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I'm going through some stuff and I'm pulling up, and I realize, like, I'll go look at the awards that my movie won. The Jerry Show. All those awards came from the Jerry Show. And
which is on Vimeo, right?
No, it's nowhere right now. Like, it's supposed to be on Troma, but they're taking their fucking time getting it out there.
Come on, Troma, what are you doing?
Come on, Troma. But I was thinking of actually making it a PPV on
Vimeo.
On Vimeo. I'll think about it. Whatever. Nobody.
$12.
$12.
Right.
But like, I pull down the most, because I'm not going to get I'm not going to mention in a bio that I won, you know, best short. Like, there's no character to that, right? So I pulled down these 3 awards, and one of them was most shocking short. Another one was most fucked up short, and the last one was the what the fuck award, right? And I pull all those things down.
I got that too.
You got that? Yeah. So I threw that into my bio, and then I suddenly realized, oh my God, I sound like an insufferable fucking troll right now. Like my movie is not, I don't know who makes these fucking movies, but I see these movies all the time that you watch and you're like, that the director is constantly looking at the camera being like, yeah, you see that shit? That upsets you, doesn't it? You mad? You offended? Right. And that's not me. That's not the Jerry. No, I don't think that's the Jerry Show. I hope that's not the Jerry Show.
I watched the Jerry Show before we met in person.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I feel like, and I've watched it since like 4 or 5 times. Just in different contexts.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, no, I mean, you've shown it on streams, and then you showed it the other day on a stream.
I showed it Sunday, yeah.
Even though that was freezing the whole time, I barely watched. Never mind about that. I've seen it since, and I think it reads differently to me now. But initially, I didn't find it to be edgelordy. I didn't.
And now you do? Is that what you said?
No. Now I see it as. I'll tell you, but you might tell me this is completely wrong. But Jerry is like you just said. You grew up in Germany.
Yeah.
And the short is essentially about a guy that's like haunted by his past, constantly ridiculing him and guilting him and making him feel like a piece of shit. and it's Hitler, and
it's Hitler.
German. It's German. I was like, now I kind of see it as like, this is like kind of what you see inside, you know, like maybe your childhood is still haunting you, and the things from your childhood are still telling you you're not good enough for something, and it turned into who's like the most famous German of all. Sadly, sadly, it's Hitler. And now they say, you know, put Hitler on a guy's body, and he's screaming at him constantly. I was like, it kind of makes more sense to me.
I feel like every time,
because you're very self-depreciative too, so it works. Like, my theory works. You can tell me if it's wrong, but
no, I mean, who am I to say whether it's wrong? Like, I don't know whether it's wrong. Maybe it's wrong.
Okay, well, I don't know. You know,
like, I mean, I'm of the opinion, and it's not. I actually, when I share this opinion with other artists I know, other filmmakers I know, they're usually about 50-50 with whether they're on board with me or whether they think I'm full of shit. But I feel like once you create a thing and you put it out there, it's not yours anymore, right?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
The thing about an artwork is that all of the labor, like, you pour your effort into it, right?
No matter how stupid it is.
No matter how stupid fucking you want to
go all out
about dick sucking Hitler. All right, you're gonna go nuts and you're gonna make this thing happen. But in the end, the place where all the artwork actually happens is inside the skull of the viewer.
Right. Yeah.
The viewer owns your movie.
Well, look at what it did to me there. So that's what I saw.
Yeah, no, that's great. So I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. Like, and
that comes from also knowing you, like seeing you talk on a daily basis in the chat. Well, no, I see your self-depreciation and how you whip yourself all the time, and I'm like, then I watched the Jerry Show, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot of fucking sense. All right, I'm getting it now. You know, like, even if it was subconscious, I see where it's coming from. You know?
Yeah, when I was younger, I guess, like, the question is, you know, when I wrote the Jerry Show, it was probably.
I feel like also, can you give like a log line on what the Jerry Show is for anyone that's listening?
Jesus. Okay, so do you want the coy long line or like the
whatever describes what we're talking about?
The Jerry Show is a short film about a guy who has the tragic misfortune of having Hitler growing out of his belly.
Hitler's face
is growing right out of his belly.
Yeah.
And that's about as much setup as I like to give. Hitler is I guess I feel like this is 2021 and the world is a fucking toilet, so I have to make it clear that Hitler's the bad guy. I feel like I should lay that out there. Like, that's not, there used to be a point in time where you could make a movie, like that Kung Fury, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Kung Fury, whether you liked it or not, I don't know whether you liked it. I don't know whether I liked it. Obviously,
you've seen my stuff. Would I like Kung Fury?
I think you're probably a fan of Kung Fury.
Yeah, let's be honest.
But
come on.
Hitler shows up in Kung Fury, and there's no question. Oh, that's the villain. That's the bad guy. He's the evil master at the beginning of all, or at the heart of all the suffering in the movie, and that's cool. My movie is a little more ambiguous, I guess. I don't think that's the right word, but like, it's not hero versus villain for sure.
No, Jerry's not. He's the protagonist. He's the protagonist.
Yeah, he's the protagonist. Yeah.
But it's not overtly like. I don't think you're saying anything about
good guys.
I don't. The fact that it's Hitler. I never felt, even when I first watched it, that you were saying something about what Hitler did or the World War II or anything. It feels like this guy's personification of evil is on his stomach, and he views all evil as, well, who's the most evil figure in history.
That's where it comes from. It's like, I just wanted to, you know,
what's the worst face to grow out of your stomach?
Yeah, what would be the worst person to have stuck to you, literally stuck to you all the time?
Hitler's pretty good.
Hitler's pretty.
Kim Jong-il, I don't know, like
people tell me, and
Trump. I mean, like, seriously.
Oh, like, Jesus.
In 50 years, somebody could make the Jerry Show too with Trump coming out of there. Yeah.
I've had people suggest to me, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna do a sequel with Stalin?" And I'm like, "No."
You know what sucks too is like Hitler has such a facial personality and a voice. Is like, the sad fact is that Trump has that too.
It's memorable.
You know what I mean?
Right?
It's memorable. The sad fact is he's a character, and you could make the Jerry Show too in like 20 years.
Yeah. It's
sad but true, you know.
Oh, god damn. Yeah.
Don't do that. I'm
No,
just
I
saying
won't.
it. Yeah, I'm just
some whippersnapper I'll have to get to do that
Right.
in 20 years, and
Right.
I'll sign off on it like you did
Right.
with milk soda.
I didn't sign off on Minnesota. They just did it.
They just did it. They're like,
They
fuck
just
this
did
guy. We're going for it.
Yeah. I worry about that too. Like,
You worry about milk soda? Yeah.
I worry about milk soda every day of my
Damaging
life.
your brand.
Now, like, okay, I worry about how something I write, because it's all very stupid and I don't mean any harm, but I always worry I'm doing something that's going to be perceived like toxic or edgelordish.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to. Like, I think we talked about this on one of my podcasts, so maybe. I don't know if
it doesn't matter. Just
it does. Yeah,
we'll talk about it again.
I'm just worried that like you refuse to edit this thing. Like, if you want to cut something out, you made Timecrowave, and I love Timecrowave.
Thank you.
And I want people to know. I hope. Okay, so what you said was that the people you get to act in your movies are the people who are available today, right?
Except for Victor, really. I mean, like,
okay,
when it came to the guy fucking the microwave.
No, that you can schedule around that because that's
Victor,
important.
Victor is not only, I love Victor's visual performances. And I love Victor, and
Victor's great. Victor's amazing, and
Victor's my good luck charm. I feel like when I make something. Every time I've made something with Victor, I'm proud of it.
Black Jeans Whoa is forever imprinted on my brain.
Right. And that's kind of Victor. That's like Victor the Short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's amazing.
It's just him. So that was him. But for the most part, I don't spend money. You know,
so that's what I mean.
Money. So
what I wanna mention is on Timecrowave.
Yeah.
Except for Victor. All of the characters are just white dudes, except for the goddess character, or the god character, and I feel sort of hyper attuned to things that might be perceived the wrong way.
Right. No, I get
it. And anybody who knows you won't think twice about that because
no one does. I've had the only time it's ever come up is I've had female friends say, "How come I'm not in one of your shorts?"
Oh, okay.
And I've said,
then you say, "All right, I'll put you in one."
And I say, and usually that kind of all came to a head during Timecrowave. And honestly, I haven't made that much since Timecrowave because the world fell apart and my life fell apart.
True.
But I took note of it, and I'm gonna work towards it being forward. But I've always said in response, like, I'm making fun of myself with a lot of these characters. And I'm me, a gross white guy that's, you know.
I'm gonna. Oh, you pulled it. Oh no, you pulled it out. I was gonna read from your bio. Shit, but you killed it.
Because Kate told me she didn't like it.
She didn't exactly say that, but she's she just thought it was a joke that I put in there. But in your original bio for that thing that we were talking about earlier, you're pathetic men with weird sex and lasers.
Yeah.
And, I was kind of she thought I wrote that as a ding on you, but no, that's your movie.
No, because I view it as even Black Jeans Whoa was actually written by Mike, my friend Mike. Okay. And even that though, like when we were making it, I'm like, we're making fun of gross men. I mean, me and him have the same sensibility. Soda Milk is making fun of a gross guy. Like we're kind of making fun of ourselves, how the worst of ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, I don't, when I'm thinking of an idea, I'm like, I don't want to ridicule women. I don't have anything to ridicule. I was like, I really want to ridicule myself. That's why everyone kind of looks like me. They're hairy, fat, and gross. Or there's men, you know. I don't want
Victor's Victor's not gross. Victor's beautiful.
Victor's a beautiful, handsome man who is an angel on this earth. But you know, when I say gross, I mean the things they're doing.
Right.
You know, the things they're doing.
Milk and vegetables.
It's all disgusting. It's all hot.
My God.
Thank God it didn't have a budget because it would be even worse. It was so much worse. Like if I could do it, I actually would wanted to. But yeah, like I don't want anyone to perceive it as look at this guy who's only having a venue for all white dudes.
Yeah.
You know? So
yeah, that's one of the reasons I say
I never meant that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say that the Jerry Show doesn't have any heroes, I personally so we have just a quick background for anyone listening. Jerry is the guy who is afflicted with Hitler, And Hitler is very abusive towards Jerry and makes Jerry do things that Jerry really doesn't want to do. But I want to make it clear, I fucking hate Jerry.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. I can't, he's so fucking floppy and weak. I just want to punch him in his dick over and over. I hate him so much.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know what I was saying. So yeah, it's not, we don't make movies to glorify the things that we put in them.
If anything, I feel like we're seeing the worst in ourselves and then trying to say something with that, you know.
Yeah.
What like, you know, I mean, Time Microwave is not a character piece. It isn't. I know it's not. If it was longer, maybe, but it's not. It's really more making fun of filmmaking.
Yeah.
But in my way, I'm like, look what the world would be if a bunch of guys were in charge of it completely in the future. And you know what I mean?
A bunch of dudes like me.
Yeah, a bunch of dudes. It's like a fucking nightmare. It's like, what the hell's going on? Nothing makes sense. It's all bullshit. You know, like that's kind of how I view it. And that's not to say that I don't want to make movies with a more diverse cast. It was just like,
I feel
until
like
then it was just I'm a white guy with a lot of white friends who don't have to work all the time.
Yeah, I don't know if you feel this way, but I would feel like I've worked with actors before, and I just feel like I haven't deserved them. Like my friend Dina Najjar, I'll call her out. She's great. I've worked with her on a movie, and like I had a couple moments where I'm shooting this movie in this hotel with these two actors, and they're incredible. And like I'm watching them, and this one is on Vimeo. It's called D is for Demon, and like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh my God, you're both too good for this. What are you doing in this thing? You know? So like I don't mind, you know, the actor who played Jerry, I don't mind beating him up. Like he's you know, the actor who played his anonymous hookup.
And his performance is great.
His performance is fantastic. The guy who played the hookup was this friend of mine.
The hookup. Yeah.
You remember the hookup?
I remember it. Yeah. I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
No. But it was so hilarious is that like we shot the scene with him, and there's a shot where he's lying in bed, and then we got him in bed and we got that shot, and then we shot for like 4 more hours, and I never told him that he wasn't in the shot anymore. He spent just 4 hours lying in that hotel bed. Awake. He didn't even fall asleep. He's just like lying in that bed, and we're shooting totally away from him for the rest of it. And like, I'm okay with that because he's not an actor. He's a guy I know. And you know, I hired him because he wouldn't mind showing his ass in a movie. And so like, fuck it. I
feel like, okay, I'm not totally agreeing with you, but I also want to say,
I abused him.
I want to say this for any,
like unfairly.
If any of my friends who have been in my stuff that aren't Victor are listening, I'm also blessed with the fact that my friends who are free are also like creative people that are good actors.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm happy the way I wouldn't have chosen anyone else. I'm happy the way it all turned out. Like, it's not like I'm like, oh, fine, you're available. Let's do it. It's like I had other options. I was just like, thank God you're available because I know you can do it. And the stuff I feel like, because I always avoid sound. The one thing I'm always avoiding sound, and
it's a fucking nightmare.
I'm avoiding like really kind of dialogue in general.
Yeah,
like, I want to make cartoons sometimes, and all my friends have been awesome with doing like facial acting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and like Brandon and Phil in Time Microwave, it's all them just, you know, like that's that's what they're doing. They're not, the dialogue doesn't matter. So, and they did such an amazing job. So I'm not trying to say like I chose them because they were free.
No, I said something.
I
said something that sounds ambiguous. I didn't mean that. Your guys are great. Like everybody who's done.
I love them.
I think one of my and I talked about this with Michael on the podcast that came out yesterday that you didn't listen to.
What do you want from me? It's yesterday. What do you
I talked to this about him. Like the greatest thing that actors have, and this is the difference between like actors and people who are who would like to be in movies, right? This is the thing. The greatest thing that actors have that I have nothing but pure admiration for, because I lack it, is their ability to commit regardless of the absurdity of the thing.
Right.
Like we make ridiculous movies, you and I, and we have both been blessed with actors willing to just embrace the silly shit that we're trying to make and hold on to it. Like I made this movie called Worms, and this dude, Jonathan Shelmity, who acted in it, was, I mean, everybody in that movie was great.
I've
Ariel
seen it,
was
yeah.
great. Kristen was great there. But Jonathan Shelmity, he asked
Easily
me,
the sickest of your movies, in my opinion.
yeah, oh, with the pliers scene, yeah, that's a fun.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that made such an impression on you. That's cool.
Yeah, it's like, it didn't scare me, but it made me go,
sure,
just like that little.
But this dude,
Yeah.
he asked me one time. He asked me before we shot. He asked me like during a rehearsal a week before. He's like, okay, so what's, if you could describe this character in one scene, in one word, for this scene, what would that word be? And I said, tired. And when he came to the set that night, he's like, yeah, I haven't slept in 2 days. I just thought I was trying to like really get into this character. I'm like, oh my God, why did you do that? We could put some makeup on you or something and try to make it look, wow. I don't
he's
deserve
method,
this.
man. He's method.
He is. He totally was. And he fucking killed it. He was amazing.
Yeah.
He was incredible. Like, and it's such a bizarre confluence of events that has me writing some movie about how everybody's full of worms and thinking, oh, this is so weird, man. This is so, and then on the day of the shoot, I'm sitting here in this room, which I'm in right now, and there's 20 people here committed to trying to bring this fucking thing to life. I have an actor, like a capital A actor, two of them, Ariel and Jonathan, for that scene. They're both, and I don't want to leave Kristen out. She was amazing. But she was in an earlier scene. Anyway, they're all sitting here and they're like so committed to making this idea that I had one day be a real thing.
Yeah.
And I'm fucking blown away. And I didn't mean to engineer this into being a segue back to Fat Fleshy Fingers, but that's kind of how I feel right now, because I had this idea about, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had this movie about a fucked up worm parasite that was sexually transmitted between people? And now there's like close to a dozen filmmakers who are like legit filmmakers who I don't consider to be hacks like me.
Why do you say that though? Why?
I don't know, man. Because I don't. Is it?
You're not a hack.
It's
imposter syndrome. It's Jerry. It's once again. That's the Jerry.
It's the Jerry compliment.
I don't understand why you would say that. Why? Yeah.
I sometimes it's such a weird like like dual life that I live, because most of the time I talk to people and I'm like,
did an air
dude, I don't know what I'm
just turn on.
No, I just turned my power strip on.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I just heard something.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
But most of the time I'm like, oh God, I'm such a fucking weirdo loser. What am I doing here among these people? And then I go to like certain, say, festivals or events that I'm not going to name, and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing among these fucking people? I'm such a piece of shit.
Right. I mean, I get it. I feel the same way sometimes. I'm like, oh, I shouldn't be here, or oh, I shouldn't be here.
right. Those are two totally different feelings.
Two feelings, right? But I mean, I don't know. Like, I know that I've done things that other people would never do, and they couldn't. Like not everyone.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think. I think if I watch the Jerry Show, I can safely say I would have never done that, and I think most people could never have done that. So that alone should make you realize.
That makes me feel good.
No, I'm saying that you shouldn't step on yourself so hard. But you are trying to be a producer here too.
I am. I'm trying to.
You're aiming for that.
I am. So, and that's what I've done. Is that I guess that I'm mostly just amazed at that the filmmakers that I reached out to were so excited about this.
Yeah.
Like one of the things when I'm making a movie, and I don't know whether this has to do with like the talent pool available in Orlando or something like that. I have a lot of theories about why this is, but when I'm making a movie myself, there are people I run into who are very excited to help me.
Yeah. And
then there are people I have to kind of like cajole into helping me. And though, I'm not going to get any more specific than that, but it's always very frustrating, that second half, right? I want people who are excited. I don't want to do something. I don't want somebody to do something. I don't want somebody to come work on my dumb Hitler movie if they're not like excited about it,
Yeah, absolutely.
And now, as I say
it's almost like consent but with art.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, with the
I want to fuck yeah to have sex.
Right.
Yeah.
With Fat Fleshy Fingers, everybody who's on right now really wants to be on it. And I'm blown away by this. And in fact, I had there were a couple other people that I asked, and they were unavailable, and they were so apologetic about being unavailable. And this is a position that I both, you know, I love and fear being in, where like I've got a thing, and you know, they want to do good. Like these filmmakers are we've already introduced, at this point in time I've introduced several of them on the campaign, because the campaign's running right now, right? I guess I should say that. There'll be a link or something.
I'll put a link on it on the page, but also you can search Fat Fleshy Fingers on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, we're one of the projects we love right now by Kickstarter.
Congrats.
It's kind of cool. Thank you. I've never had that before for any of my Kickstarters. So like I've already introduced Lauren, and I've introduced Gerline and Anthony. I've introduced Michael and Sophia, and tomorrow I'll be introducing Michael Dennis, who made the program. And like these are all great filmmakers, and they're very excited about their projects. We've been having production meetings. They've been sharing their ideas, and they're really excited about it. And this is both thrilling and terrifying to me, because like I have to give them, my efforts to give them the means to make the movies they want to make now have to go through, or else it's all been just a big.
Well, what do you? You're not making I didn't know this. I didn't know that you're not making a segment.
I am not making a segment. I am not directing a segment. No, I'm saying, you know, my whole like.
So it's legitimately a Sick and Wrong movie. Like it's not.
Right.
It's not a movie you're doing with Sick and Wrong people.
Right. To anybody who has never heard of Sick and Wrong before this conversation, let me make it clear. Yes, I'm a filmmaker, and yes, I make films that I think belong in the Sick and Wrong canon.
Right.
However, I will never play one of my movies in the Sick and Wrong Festival.
Right.
I just won't. Like I don't.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's better.
It's weird. It's weird to do that.
It's just uncomfortable. So like what Fat Fleshy Fingers is about, I call it a Sick and Wrong movie because all of the filmmakers behind it are Sick and Wrong alumni. All the people directing this have directed movies that have been in the festival before, and I chose them because they form a cross section of everything that I want the festival to be. And I really trusted them to be able to make movies in the voice that I want Sick and Wrong to have. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. I see. I didn't actually know that you weren't making a segment. I thought
I'm not making a segment.
Maybe I missed that somewhere, but
no, it's fine. I mean,
so
I'm a filmmaker. Why, you know?
Right. I just assumed you were. So basically, you're just across the board producing and making sure everything goes okay.
That is correct.
And everyone has what they need.
That's yes.
Right.
Yes. That's it exactly. And I want to
make a lot of damn work, don't
it's Jesus, to
coordinate how many segments? How many segments is it?
At the moment we have 8 confirmed. Well, okay, so 7 segments plus
the wraparound.
The wraparound, right? The wraparound. We've already introduced Gerline and Anthony are going to be doing the wraparound. They are the creators behind Get Up Piero, which is a fascinating choose your own adventure animation series going on Instagram. It's like people should fucking check that out. They're amazing. But they're going to be connecting all of the sequences together as well as providing the titles and credits. So like that's going to be a lot of work.
They made the titles of a movie we made together.
They did make us titles of movies we made together.
So and, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, they're great. But like Michael and Sophia Launch Over, they're going to be doing a segment. The first filmmaker I introduced, her name's Lauren. Lauren Flinner. She is an animator. She's going to be doing you're going to love this. It's like a cold open. Like it's an opening.
I know how you love a cold open. I don't have anything wrong with cold opens. You hate it.
No, I hate cold opens. I hate 4-minute cold opens on a 7-minute movie.
That's terrible. That's
That,
that's
yeah, it drives
legitimately
me
is
fucking
terrible.
nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate cold opens on short films. Like they don't make any sense to me generally. Like
Opening
just
credits is just
opening credits are
terrible. Yeah.
wasted on a short film.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you're listening to this and you're a filmmaker, listen, I run a festival. It's a tiny one. It's only been around 6 years. Probably nobody gives a shit about it. But I tell you,
Not true.
if you have a short film, you don't need credits, man. Just throw it at the end. It's fine. 5 seconds up at the end.
We do it after story.
Do it after story.
That's why you always used to say everything like that after story. If you want, like, if you want to make it fun, you can, but make sure the story is over.
Make sure the story is told. Yeah. That's the important part.
Yeah.
And because people, you're fighting for people's attention, especially with a short film, right? Like it almost seems like if you sit down to watch a feature film, you're kind of already saying, okay, the next 2 hours of my life are spoken for.
Are spoken for, right? Yeah.
Right. When you're watching a short film, you're like, I think people are actually more demanding with their 7 or 12 minutes than they are with their 2 hours.
Because they're kind of like, it's a short commitment. I don't really have to.
Yeah, I don't have to be here.
You have to make them like, you have to grab them because they're ready to. They have one foot out the door when they're watching it.
That's true. Yeah,
but the whole
it's
time.
a great tragedy because it's an art form that I think you and I both kind of fucking embrace.
Yeah,
because I love making short films.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, I haven't made a feature except with you. Yeah. Well, no, we have made a feature.
We have made a feature.
I'll stop saying that. We did make a feature, but we haven't. I haven't made a feature like myself.
We made a weird fucking feature.
We did make a weird feature. I keep telling. So we made. So
I don't know how coy we should be right now.
I mean, the title's public. So
the title's out there, right? There's a Facebook page.
There's a Facebook page. It's public. It's called The Transformations of the Doctors Jenkins. And
that's so ridiculous.
It's a horrible, like,
whose idea was this? Jesus.
Yeah, I know. We made it with our friends, Michael J. Epstein, Sophia Castiola, and Kate McCoy. And we did it during the it's a pandemic movie.
It's basically
a pandemic movie.
But it's more interesting than any pandemic movie I've seen so far.
But I mean, honestly, if you look at my IMDb, if you discount the Soda Milk movie, which I argue the Soda Milk movie has a story, even if it's a Soda Milk movie. This is technically the first feature I've directed. Technically, the Jenkins is the first one.
The Jenkins, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't made a feature.
Oh, same here. Like the only thing I ever did on a feature before this point was I spent 14 hours on a beach in Melbourne, Florida, wrangling. So this fucking movie, I forget what it's called now. I think it's called, when I worked on it in 2003.
Oh God.
It was called First Time Caller, but it didn't get released till like 2006.
Yeah.
And they changed the name to something like I'm Listening or some shit like that. And they spelled my name wrong in the credits and they never sent me a copy. So I've never seen this movie. To be clear, I've never seen this movie.
What did you do on it?
So I was out there to be a second. I was wrangling extras.
Okay.
And there were like all the seconds, we all went out there. We were locals. We just graduated and they were looking for people. And so we all went out there from Orlando. We drove out to Melbourne and we were the seconds. And each of us got a troop of extras to be in charge of.
Okay.
And I got the green shirts because they were all I don't know what the movie's about because they've never sent me a fucking copy and I'm not going to pay to watch this goddamn movie. But I was in charge of the green shirts. Everybody had their own colored shirts. Now, there are two big stories I want to tell from this set.
Okay.
But I want to mention that I only had 2 or 3, I don't remember, 2 or 3 extras, whereas like my friend had 14 extras and this one had like 22 extras. There were only like 2 or 3 green shirts. And I'm like, all right, guys, well, I'm in charge of you now. Okay, they need us. Let's get down there.
Right. Okay.
So here's my 2 stories. First, I dragged a fucking, 200-pound rock a mile down the beach on a dolly through the fucking sand because the director wanted this rock in his shot.
How does a dolly go through sand?
Not well.
I couldn't say.
I mean, I wasn't gonna carry it.
I can't imagine that's like even working. It's just dragging it, really, right?
It was so Jesus. I fucking dragged this thing. It was a nightmare. It was like dragging it on a sled, basically. There's no point to being a dolly. Like the dolly got it from the truck to the edge of the sand, and once we hit sand,
Right.
it was just me dragging a rock for like fucking.
The dolly was like
rock.
a handle at that point. It didn't matter that it wasn't helping.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It just made the rock grabbable, and then like. When I saw them set the camera, because I still haven't seen the movie. Obviously, I still haven't seen the movie, but I saw them set the camera up on the crane, and like I can tell based on where the camera's sitting that the rock is like at the bottom of the frame, and then immediately the camera starts booming up, and and I'm like, fucking die. I hate you.
It could have been a JPEG of a rock they added
Seriously,
later.
Jesus. It could have been a piece of fucking paper mache. I don't know why this directors love this goddamn rock so much. The other story that is not a very good story, but like I was the one dumbass who never put sunscreen on, and we spent 14 hours on the beach in Melbourne. Now, this is going to sound like an exaggeration.
Okay.
But you could talk to my friends, like Sarah Bachman. She'll back me up on this. By the end of the night, when we went to the wrap party, my face looked like barbecue chicken skin. Like it was black and oozy. And red,
delicious,
and crunchy. Like I showered before. Oh, it was terrible. It was a fucking nightmare.
Should have seasoned yourself.
Just seasoned myself up.
Yeah, if you're, I don't know if you were dating someone, they should just like licked it off. You know.
No, that was during my during my 10-year dry spell.
Oh Jesus! All right. Well, okay. And you've never seen this movie?
I've never seen this movie. What's this movie called? Hang on, let me dig up. Is it
on your IMDb?
It is on my IMDb, but it says it's got one of those as credits on it because they misspelled my fucking name.
Oh, how do they spell it? Saul?
They spelled it with a V. No, they spelled Stull right. They just spelled Stephen with a V.
Okay.
Bunch of dick bags. What's the name of this goddamn movie? Let's call him out. Let's call this fucking director and his beloved rock out.
What if he's huge now? What if he's like really smart? He's gonna sink your shit. He's gonna sink your shit.
It's called I'll Believe You.
That's not a good title.
It was directed by Paul Francis Sullivan. You hear me, Paul Francis Sullivan? I dragged your goddamn rock down the fucking beach and you never sent me a goddamn copy of the movie.
Hey, Paul Francis, thanks for listening, though. I appreciate it.
So the last thing he directed was a short in 2009. Someone just knocked on my door. Why is somebody knocking on my door? Trying to deliver something. Late breaking news for the podcast is somebody knocking on my door. There's a guy in a mask. Hey Jen, you want to
Oh my god, am I gonna witness like a break-in or something?
Well, I mean, the door is over there. Should I turn the camera around so that
if you I don't know if you want to, but
I don't know what's gonna happen. He looks like he's in a uniform.
Is it your back door?
No, it's my front door.
Oh, okay. For some reason I imagine that's where like
the geography. Yeah, you're looking at like I live in a duplex.
Like the DVD space of your
That's the shared wall with the other half of the duplex.
Okay.
So the kitchen's back that way and the front door is right there.
Okay, gotcha.
So Jen's standing outside.
Is everything okay?
I don't know. She just went out there. It's just some guy with a fucking notebook. I don't know.
I was gonna say, to add to your story.
Yeah.
In 2009,
Paul Francis Sullivan
killed my dog. I was gonna. I've only been like kind of making movies for like, or doing any of this, editing any of this for like 15 years, and it's not. I guess that's okay, but like at the beginning, I thought, okay, I got to do the whole work your way up thing. Yeah. And so my one buddy who went to film school got me as a PA on like a $50,000 production, which I thought at the time was like, it's huge. One of the worst times I have ever had in my life. I mean, number one, I was mostly on Firewatch, which if you know what that is, it's where you sit outside with the equipment to make sure no one steals it. I mean,
Bob, that's called Best Boy. Get it right.
Well, whatever it is. I just remember sitting there and my friend would come out. All the
Best Boys listening to your podcast just got fucking furious with me. Fuck you.
Yeah. I remember sitting there and my buddy would come out and see like, hey, what's up? And I'd be like, I don't understand.
Nothing. Literally nothing.
I was like, I'm sitting in a suburban neighborhood watching a pile of equipment. I'd be like, I don't understand how this is helping me become a filmmaker.
It's not.
And he was like, it's really not. But I stuck with it through the whole way. The director barely remembered my name. And the reason is because at the time on Facebook, this was before Facebook became our entire lives and ruined Western civilization. My name was Timothy Faceneck on Facebook. That was my name. And so
your name, but side note, you changed your name in our message thread to Thomas. As a joke. And it still fucking comes up as Thomas like 6 months later. And I'm like, fucking Thomas. God damn it.
Anyway, I'll change it back. It's fine.
Tell me more about Timothy Faceneck.
No, well, I was Timothy Faceneck, and like half the people in the production would call me Tim and half would call me Bob. And nobody, and even when I would correct them, I'd be like, "My actual real name is Bob." And I was like,
"Because they're like, no, we have this much brain space for you. You're too late." I'm not trying to dog it like you did. What's his name? Francis. Paul Francis Sullivan.
PFS, the good big old PFS. But nothing against the movie. It was called Heaven Burns. It was about pill addiction.
Okay.
The movie is not my cup of tea. The people making it do not see film the way I do. Everyone on there was like Christopher Nolan, Dark Knight. Like that's like what they were like. But I had to lug things up and down. I was still a fat dude, and I had to like do all this shit. I'm like looking at all these fit, hot people that were doing all the like important stuff where they're gonna get credit. I'm like, why the fuck? And as the fat guy lugging 300 pounds of water up steps.
You remind me of so many stories I want to tell, but go ahead.
That's in the end. I was going to say like that experience, which I kind of gleaned from yours, was the last time I did PA work. I was like, I'm never doing this again because no one remembers. My credit doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm not going to work my way up. I was like, if I'm going to do anything, I'm going to use a fucking camera and make my own thing no matter how bad it looks.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I started because I was like, I'm never doing this shit again. I am never carrying 400 pounds of equipment up steps again. It's just not happening.
No, I can't blame you.
Yeah.
Like okay, I have so many things to say. First of all, I was a volunteer for the Florida Film Festival for like 5 or 7 years, something like that, for a lot of years, for probably like 7 years. Anyway, okay. I was a volunteer for the Florida Film Festival, and it was a lot of fun, and it actually like literally changed my life, and I'll tell you how in a minute. But first, I want to say like they break their volunteers out into different like teams, right? There's the info team, which stands around with the little iPads and answers people's questions, right? Then there's the ticket taking team or the theater team that takes tickets and then cleans up the theater after the movie's done. I was always on event team. Event is a cute euphemism for manual labor team. The event team are the people who move all the furniture and set everything up, right?
Ooh, whoever named that knew exactly what they were doing.
In fairness, I knew what was going on, and I was like, all right, I'm a big dude, I can lift fucking furniture, I'll do it. So I would sign up for the event team, and during every single fucking year that I was a volunteer at the Florida Film Festival, which is a great festival, I have nothing but great things to say about it.
You've always been very complimentary.
I love the Florida Film Festival. It really did change my life. But like every year that we'd go to orientation, and the person who was the team lead for events would say, listen, we need people who can lift 50 pounds at least. All right. So if you got some burly folks out there, some bodybuilders, that's who I need on the event team. And I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll sign up, whatever. And I get there for my shift, and it's me, and it's two 98-pound 18-year-old girls and a 75-year-old woman. Every goddamn time. Oh, all right, I'm moving everything. That's how it's going to go. I'm going to move everything. I'm going to move literally every table out of the theater to the yard. That's what's going to happen on this fucking shift. Thanks. Thanks. You dicks.
Basically, what you're telling me is Florida Film Festival is one of those friends who are moving and offering pizza and beer.
That's exactly it.
And you show up and like two other friends who will not touch a damn thing.
That's like, I've been that guy. I guess I'm moving.
I have been the literal guy that showed up to a move, and I'm literally carrying a sofa on top of my back and walking up steps by myself. I've been that guy.
I was I wiped out one time in the gravel and like fucked up both my knees, and like
It's just forever.
But that time I'm like hauling a table myself. I like heft it up like, all right, we got to get these out. Oh shit, I tripped. Oh fuck, let me pick it up. And then I look back and there's like 3 people hauling the next table. And I'm like, these are 2 tops, man. These are standing 2 tops. Just fucking pick it up, you wuss. Oh wait, the 3 of you combined weigh what I weigh. I understand. That makes sense.
Now now this was what year? What year was this?
I shit, I don't remember. I
mean, we're talking like last decade, or
no? Okay, so the first year that I'm
trying to gauge your youthfulness and health.
The first year that I volunteered was 2013, and I did it for somewhere in the range of 5 to 7 years. The last year or 2, I took like a couple of event shifts, and then most of my shifts were driver shifts. So
it's way less impact.
It is, but you're farther away from. I don't know. Driver was great because you didn't have to wear. They never had the shirts in my size, so I'm always like sausage casinged up, with the fucking
get that meat casing on your arm,
yeah. So I like drivers because you don't have to wear the shirt. You don't have to wear the volunteer shirt. You just kind of dress kind of nice. And occasionally you get to talk. The appeal is that you might have to drive a star. You don't. You drive jurors. That's what you do. And the jurors are great people and they're important people in the world of film, but you don't recognize them.
Yeah, it's not like you're driving De Niro or something.
Right. Yeah, you drive the fucking jurors.
Yeah, you're doing it for the popular one.
For the pop. So
you were in good shape. You were in better shape.
I was in better shape than I am now.
Not saying you're in bad shape now. I'm just saying
I weigh less now than I did when I graduated high school.
That's good.
Yeah. That's good. By a large amount, actually. By almost 100 pounds. Yeah.
That's good.
So I don't know. I guess I'm doing okay. Like the pandemic has been great for me.
I lost weight during the pandemic, but I was very fat before that. It's like, when you're fat, you've been here. When you're fat enough where like you tell people, yo, I lost 50 pounds. They're like, fucking like, A. And then they see you and they're like,
really?
Yeah. I was like, I was so fat that losing 50 pounds literally visually makes no difference.
It doesn't change it.
Like it's a whole different level of fat that you don't understand,
Yep. I know that level. I've been there since like puberty.
Right. Well, I was going to say, like, if I go back to that film shoot, I know that I don't think I couldn't do what I did then now.
Yeah.
Just for my knees and stuff. I could never. I might even have. I don't
back.
Like my back and my knees, and
since I'm past 40, like
I might pass out just from like I don't know what, but yeah, I have a heart attack or some shit.
Actually, I guess I don't want to crow or anything like that, but I have a herniated disc.
Oh,
and that's the source. And I could be a lot better than I am if I just did my back stretches, and I don't do my back stretches. Like I did physical therapy for a couple of weeks, and they taught me what I need to be doing, and I just don't do it. That's my fault. I am still doing fitness stuff. Sure. I went and I walked I did 5.8 miles today.
I mean, 5 miles is good, man.
It's in
How long
Florida.
Does that take?
It takes me. Okay, so I do. This time, the longest mile I did was like 18:30. So it takes me a little under 2 hours to do 5.8. Is what I did today. So it's like an hour 45 minutes. I took today.
I can't do 5 in one sitting.
You know why? It's just balls.
It's
man.
Not for me. I'm big enough. Florida is too much, but for me, it'd be my actual feet and knees would actually start.
My feet are wrecked.
Well,
do you want to see the blister?
No, don't show them.
You sure?
I'm sure they're great, but this isn't one of your movies. But like, I know that like you ever get to a point in exercising, which I'm assuming you do now. Like, I'm like, I could go more with my actual like cardiovascular health.
Yeah.
But I'm like, my legs are done. I got nothing left in them. I have to stop. I get there a lot when I'm walking, as I walk every day, and I get there. I'm like, oh shit, I gotta stop. My feet are on fire. You know. Yeah.
I think I reached that point, and I swear to God, this is not meant as like some kind of humble brag or something, but I just keep going.
Yeah.
Because my feet are like, okay, so 3 days ago, I guess, maybe, I don't know, maybe more than that. Anyway, I put on a pair of socks before my walk, and I saw a little tiny hole in the bottom, and I thought, you know what? That's a small hole.
That'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I got home after that 5.5 mile walk and had a blister about this big on the bottom of my foot. Like, all right, fuck, that sucks.
Yeah.
So then I switched to better socks and I took another walk the next day and got like a secondary blister stuck to the side of that one.
You can't walk 5 miles with a blister on the bottom of your foot. You can, but
I've done it like 3 days now. So here's
Christ.
the fun part.
Okay.
This is the fun thing. So yesterday I took my walk, and there was a point I did about 5.5 miles again, and about 3 miles in, I said, "Oh shit, my blister just ripped open," because I could fucking tell. It was a sharp, sudden pain on the bottom of my foot, and my foot kept moving.
I mean, a blister it's very specific pain.
It's very, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, ow, that really hurts. Do I need to stop? You know what? I'll just walk another 100 feet. And I wound up walking 2.5 more miles on top of it. So now it is a nightmare. I'd show it to you. I'm not going to show it to you.
I mean, if you really want to show it, I'll look.
I got a Band-Aid on it, and the big Band-Aids.
That doesn't bother me. I just don't know if anyone watching would want to see it.
No, it's for me. Actually, the problem is that the big Band-Aids only come in 10 packs. They don't come in like 60 packs. Right. So I don't want to pull this off and show it.
Don't waste the Band-Aid. Dude, I actually, now I say that, I'll go on YouTube and I'll watch blister
Dr.
videos.
Pimple. Oh, really?
I love Dr. Pimple Popper, but there's this one video. If you look up blisters, this guy burnt his hand on a stove.
Oh yeah.
And it's like his whole palm is just lifted up.
Oy.
And it's like a doctor literally cutting into it. And I've watched it like 3 times. I'm not even kidding. Because it's all this juice pours out of it. And then it's just like, it literally looks like a scene from the first Hellraiser with the skin. You know, like just the raw to the touch skin. And the guy is
what my face looked like on the Melbourne beach.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it just looks like even the slightest nudge of anything. It's, it's like touching a nerve. Yeah. I've watched that video though like 3 or 4 times because it also, when you burn yourself, it has like all this excess like white goo from the
like the white blood cells and
blood cells accumulating. So like they open it, all the juice pours out. Then he's like,
stop calling it juice, you fucker.
What's all that goo? And it's like this giant glob of white goo. It's terrible, but I can't stop watching it. I like have to watch it. I love pimple popping videos too.
Okay, so I don't want to I don't want to sound too, I don't know. I told you, I sort of walk this line between staggering arrogance and just like obsequious self-deprecation. But like, sure. I made a short film that is available for free to watch right now. And I never felt like it got the love it deserved. It was called B is for Back Knee.
Yes.
Oh, you watched it. So I was really proud of this one because it was like the first one that I lit myself and edited to completion and all this stuff. And I was really proud of it. But it's about a poker game. It's kind of about back knee. But now you have gotten in my fucking head because I never thought about that movie as being very like revelatory or vulnerable of myself. And now I'm thinking, you know what? My back is kind of gross. Like, is this me? Am I the
back knee
guy lying in bed, like the drooling, insipid brother getting his back pimples popped?
Oh, wait a minute. You didn't make it clear. Do you like watching Dr. Pimple Popper stuff? Are you into that?
Okay, so I have,
as a sick and wrong guy, I would assume you would be, but
I have seen, so people who know about the festival are often kind of startled by how sensitive my constitution is. But here's the problem. Okay, I don't want to go off. This is another soapbox of mine, so I'm going to try to hold it together. But you know how when people say, you know, they straighten the pens on their desk and they're like, I'm so OCD. I want to beat them in the face with a cinder block because
right, that's not really OCD.
That's not what OCD is. OCD, obsessive compulsion, these words mean something. So anyway, fucking forget all that. Just my point is that I have a real hard problem shaking images and thoughts. You know, like there's this thing that'll happen where like, you know, if you're like lying in bed, I'm like lying in bed at night and I see Jen sitting there and like, I think, you know, I got a pen over there on the nightstand. I could just jam it in her ear and she'd be dead, you know? And Like
I'm laughing because Jen is sitting behind
she's sitting
you.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, one of the flavors of OCD is like I feel like everybody has thoughts like this,
Yeah.
but most people, like the vast majority of people, they just pass out of their heads, right?
Yeah.
With OCD, you get these thoughts and you can't shake them. It's not because you like them.
Right.
It's not because
No,
you
they're
want
bad
to
thoughts.
do them. They're bad thoughts. They just stick in
Yeah.
your head. So for me, it's largely images, right? So I love watching Dr. Pimple Popper, and then I hate myself afterward because I'll watch something on Dr. Pimple Popper and I'll be like, oh, that's so nasty. Wow. So funny. And then I click stop. And then the next 3 days of my life, it's just that thing
Popping.
replaying over and over again in my mind's eye. It's just oozing out again and again and again. So I will complain.
That's like a living hell, man.
It sucks, bro. It
Yeah,
sucks
yeah,
a lot.
it's terrible.
So
Yeah.
there was a dude who submitted a movie to Sick and Wrong this year, and I'm not going to name him, but fuck's sake, man, this guy submitted a movie that's I should say movie with air quotes because it's like 45 seconds long. It is a cell phone video taken over the top of his toilet. Right? It opens up and
I'm already laughing.
It's just a bloody pile of shit in the toilet, and then the toilet flushes, and that's the entire goddamn movie. That's the whole fucking thing. And like
he's like he uploaded that.
He spent money. He spent money to send this to me, man.
That's the art. It's not the movie.
It's not the movie. It's the troll.
It's the troll. Yeah, that's amazing.
So I'm insulted that he thinks this kind of shit would fly at Sick and Wrong because that is not what we're about. But
right.
B, now I'm pissed off because in the weeks since then, I have had the image of his bloody shit just pop unbidden into my head whenever I don't want it there.
Wait a minute. So I know you don't want to talk about it as much, but like, is the video just of it sitting in the toilet?
No, then it flushes. That's it. Yeah,
but you
it's
don't
already
get to
in
see,
the toilet.
So it's not like a video of him like squirting out of his ass.
Nope. He took his bloody shit. Like it's all legit. It's all unsimulated. He made that very clear in his cover letter. But he took a bloody shit and then grabbed his camera and said, "I gotta film this."
Right.
And send it to Sick and Wrong.
That's not what a.
That's not even fucking die, man. Like,
God, that's hilarious, dude.
I don't know.
Like, even if it would have been better if he filmed himself shitting at least.
Yeah, I mean,
like at least that's something. You know, that's a story.
Shit in the toilet, and then it flushes away. And
show a shot of your face going, and then the shit comes out. That's a story.
No, see, that would be like editing, and there's no editing.
I love it because it's just like, yo, look at this dung I took, man.
I know. It's fucking like, what is this?
It's a film festival.
It's like, you think this is what, and I have a whole category. Like I put it on I gave myself a little ratings guide, and I have a little category like for movies that I'm insulted that people submitted. Like a couple years ago, there was a guy, again, it's a cell phone video. And again, the guy spent, like it was late submission period. He spent something like $25 to submit this.
Yeah.
But he submitted a cell phone video of himself sitting in a chair in front of a TV. And he's looking awkward and uncomfortable. And it goes on for about 20 seconds. And then a title card comes up on screen that says, "Forced to watch the Kardashians for 12 hours. And that was his entire movie. And I'm like,
that's so nothing.
It's nothing. It's nothing. I mean, thanks for your $25, man. But what the fuck? Like, this isn't a movie.
Do you kind of wish to know? I want to know what these two guys, the Kardashians and the bloody poop guy, did they do anything else with their films? Their films.
Okay, so I know the poop guy does make movies, and I've seen a few of them because he submitted some in previous years to Sick and Wrong, and they were like. They were movies. They were movies. Yeah. I mean, they were. I guess, why do I have to be coy around this? This dude sent me a video of his own shit. Fuck him. Like, I don't have to be nice. I don't have to be cute for this dude. Fuck this guy. But his movies are amateur. They're, you know, he thinks like he's an actor, and most of his movies are built around like a monologue followed by like one shot with a CG monster that runs through or something, and that's the end of his movie. But they're like movies, at least. Like you would expect to see them at some regional festival, you know, some
or like a 48 hour or something.
Or like a 48. Yeah, that's what you'd expect. So this shit in a toilet. Like, I just don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. Like, what he was thinking for this moment.
It's exponentially funnier too that this happened to you.
To me.
not on the when you did the film contest. It happened to the actual festival.
To the actual
Somebody
festival.
put it on Film Freeway and then submitted it with money.
With money. Spent money.
They didn't like go, it was 72 hours. It totally got away from me. Here's a video of my shit. Nope, that didn't happen. Nope. This is a guy submitting it as a film. That's hilarious.
And shocking. No, I was gonna make a joke. He included the audio for it is a Buzzcock song that I would bet $10 million he did not have the rights to. I would bet $14 trillion he did not have the rights to this Buzzcock song.
Wait a minute. So is the video? Is it video or is it just a photo?
No, it's a video.
Oh, okay.
It's sitting there for a minute. And then the toilet flushes, and then it goes down the toilet. I should send it to you. Like, goddamn.
It's just like, why did he do it? Has he gotten in the festival in the past?
No, he's never gotten in the festival.
And so maybe he downgraded pissed. That much, and then.
Here's the thing, man. I thought maybe he was like, you know what? This guy has rejected all my films. Fuck him. It's worth the submission fee just to make him look at my shit. I thought that might be the case.
I almost respect that if that was true.
But he has liked so many Sick and Wrong posts since that point. I think he legitimately, like, he's never attended the festival.
Right.
He doesn't know what we're about. Like, I mean...
Please share this on the Sick and Wrong page so that he listens to it.
So he listens to it. And like, I know, like, there's no two ways about it.
Next year, you're just going to get like something even worse.
Fuck, man. Is there like a Chrome extension that'll block poop from the screen?
But I mean, dude, let's say he did it. It's money.
It is money, but I feel like it's like an insult, right? Because he's like saying,
it is, yeah. This is what your fest is. It is a shot of shit.
Yeah. So this is what I can't decide. Which is worse? The idea that he thinks that it's worth the submission fee to troll me, or that he thinks that this is legitimately what the festival's all about.
The second one.
That's worse. I feel like that's worse.
That's way worse. The troll makes it actually kind of funny, and there's some value there.
Fuck you. You watch my poop videos for me.
I'll watch a poop. I mean,
I got a poop video coming up, and I guess I shouldn't say the name of it because I haven't watched it. I haven't decided if it's going to be in the festival, but there's this mission coming up called 4 Minutes of Trump Eating Shit. That's the name of the movie. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be good. I don't know, man.
Dude, it could be incredible. You don't know.
It could be amazing. It could. I had a movie in the festival 2 years ago called Trump Blows Trump, and it was exactly what was on the fucking tin, man. It's like a 3-minute movie of Trump blowing Trump. It's amazing.
I mean, last year, during the pandemic, you had the greatest poop movie I've ever seen in my life.
Are you talking about The Discharged Murderer?
Yeah, holy
so good.
Shit.
Jen loves that one.
Yeah, no, I remember when I started watching, I was like, at first I was like, Christ, is it all this? And then all of a sudden I was like, this is fucking genius.
It's so good.
It goes so hard in one direction. It's like all bets are off. It's so good. But,
it's a detective noir. Like, it's a legit
noir
like the
script
movie.
Would work if it was humans.
Except everybody is poop.
Everybody is like legitimately poop. Yeah.
This one guy, at one point, there's like a shootout. And this guy's like, ow, you shot my corn off.
Yeah, right.
But it's so good. Oh, it's so good. And then the big turn happens.
Yeah.
God. Oh, it's so fucking good, man. I don't want to ruin it. No,
that's like it's funny because like you say poop video and it can mean either that masterpiece or the thing that you got this year.
Fucking guy, man. I just like, come on. Like, I almost want to reach out to the guy because I think he sent me a friend request a couple of years ago the first time he submitted. I almost kind of want to reach out to him on Facebook and be like, can you please just let me into your mindset?
Are you making fun of me? I need to know.
Just let me know. Are you fucking with me, or do you think this is the festival? Because if you know what, if he's listening to this right now, and there's no chance, I don't know. We might have overlapping social circles, but if he's listening to this right now, dude, you know who I'm talking about. You know I'm talking about you. I will give you a free ticket to this year's festival to come down and just look at our movies. Just look at one fucking block and tell me that you think your movie belongs.
I mean, he can literally go there. I mean, a lot of them are available on the website
That's
with
right.
links.
I spent that's
You spent
you
all that
know,
time
I
making the
spent all the
website.
time making that archive. Like
Right.
no other festival has that. That drives me nuts. I always want to
Yeah.
know, did this play that festival? Did this play that? Oh, they don't have an archive. No archive. Sickandwrong.com. Or sorry, fuck. I fucked it up. Oh fuck.
Oh
Oh
my
fuck.
God, dude.
Sickandwrongfilm.com.
It's the N, not N.
It's the N, letter N. N is in November.
Yeah.
Sickandwrongfilm.com has a complete archive of every movie we've ever played. And every time I don't have, so some of the movies are online, but the festival, the creators haven't told me. But like, for instance, you and a lot of creators told me, hey, my movie's online. Here's the link. As soon as they do that, I put it on the archive.
Yeah. I mean,
so if you want to watch, it's public.
Yeah.
You want to watch Time Crave, sure, you could go straight to YouTube, or you could come to sickandwrongfilm.com and look in the archive and figure out which year Time Crave.
I'm just saying, this guy can do that right now.
He can do that right now. He can see the kind of stuff we play.
The stuff that not you play, that you accepted.
That we accepted. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like you accepted this. This is what it is. It's not fucking like it's not Reddit videos of people getting into fights at Walmart or something.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sick and Wrong Film is not World Star.
It's not World Star, right? And you obviously, I feel like since the time we've known each other, this has been a struggle for you because the title. The sad fact is the title of what you do, the title of the film festival, it could go either way. It could be what it is, what you are. Yeah. Or it could be some edgelord,
some fucking gore porny kind of,
all rape videos or something. You know what I mean? Like just terrible.
No, you're
stuff.
right. You're right. Because I went.
And you're like the opposite of that.
Yeah, I went to a festival one time, and I don't want to call it out, but it was specifically a one of these hardcore horror festivals, right? And I got 2 of my movies into it, and so I went, and I won't say where it is or when it was or anything like that because like it was my fault. Because I didn't know what the term hardcore horror meant. And so I get there and it's all like, standard def camcorder videos of women being subjected to sexualized violence by dudes in Halloween masks, That's like
it's sad that that's like a category, but it is.
Yeah, that's like 80% of this festival. Oh yeah, and I get these movies. I get people submit these movies to me all the time. Sick and Wrong is not for that. So this is the way I think about it. And I kind of screwed myself with the name. I thought the name was catchy. I thought it was better than the word underground. I thought underground was sort of a malleable word that doesn't really mean anything. So when I say that Sick and Wrong is a festival for weird movies, right? You hear that. If you are, and I promise, I swear to God, before I say this, I promise there's no judgment in what I'm about to say. Okay. If you are someone who has only ever seen movies at your local Cineplex, all right. Now, to be clear, before I continue, I think that there's a rich and full life to be lived by these people who only see movies at the Cineplex. It's fine. There's no judgment here. But if you have only ever seen movies at the Cineplex, the idea of a quote weird movie means something very, very, very different to you, right, than it does to somebody who has seen, say, The Holy Mountain, right, or Eraserhead, or Pink Flamingos. Okay, right. So if the weirdest movie you can think of is, I don't know, Hostel,
or even like something, even like
I felt like The Matrix.
Is The Matrix
like The Matrix is fucking weird, and it was a big release movie.
It's weird, yeah. It's weird to think of The Matrix as weird for me, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because we plunge ourselves into weird shit all the time, right?
To me, it's not weird at all. It's actually expertly.
But if you look at somebody, no, it's great. It's it's a well-made movie. But if you think about it from the standpoint of somebody who's only ever seen like. I don't even know what movies were playing before, but like you've seen, maybe you've seen you've seen Rocky and you've seen Terms of Endearment, and then you see The Matrix, right?
Well, The Matrix seems weird, yeah.
It does seem weird. It's taking place on 2 different realities.
It's asking something from you.
It's asking something from you, exactly.
A different type of ask. Like Rocky's asking for you to get into the characters and the drama. Whereas The Matrix is asking you for something totally different that you're not normally asked, right?
Right, and it was a big release. So if the weirdest movie you can think of is The Matrix, then I tell you I run a festival called Sick and Wrong, and you go, oh, it must be a bunch of horror.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's weird movies. And you're like, no, it wouldn't be called Sick and Wrong then. Like, but if you have seen The Greasy Strangler, if you have seen Roar, I don't know if you ever saw Roar. Roar is fucking crazy.
Or like even David Lynch or
David Lynch. Yeah. You have
Cronenberg, stuff like that.
You have seen Naked Lunch.
Mhm.
And I tell you that I run a festival for weird movies. Well, you have a totally different idea in your head,
I also think that people tend to go like when I first saw like the title like on Film Freeway, because that's how how we met. I found your thing on Film Freeway.
Yeah, why did you submit Black Jeans Woe to this festival?
I mean, it's milk. I mean, I like honestly was like, I saw it and I actually went to the website and looked it up. Because, Because to me, I saw it and I was like, is this essentially like, is it a horror thing?
Is it
like,
a gore porn fest?
Like, is this something a guy that makes horror films and loves Steven Crowder? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what this is.
Crowder.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what this is. So I looked it up and I was like, all right, well, Black Jeans Woe it does have the song, but I find people find naked men taboo, naked fat men even more taboo.
Yeah.
Milk and vegetables on naked bodies and stuff. Like, I was like, okay, from what I'm seeing, it fits. And it doesn't look like something that I'd be ashamed to be in.
You did about 1,000% more work than most submitters do, because you looked at the Film Freeway page and then you went to the website.
Yes.
Because
the name worried me.
The name
literally worried me. So
for the record, I loved Black Jeans Woe.
Right.
And
Fat Jeans
Woe. Sorry. And you won a sickie for that. You won a sickie.
Yeah. Mike technically did, but yeah.
Yeah, it was for the music. Because that goddamn song is the catchiest fucking music
Mike's
I've
a
ever heard in my
talented dude.
life. He's a talented guy. I would like to do a podcast with him. He should tell him if he does that.
Yeah, he can. He would do it.
But yeah, I get so many requests constantly. Constantly, I get requests for people who want a waiver for their movie, and 90% of their requests don't even tell me about the movie. They're like telling me about their situation. We're struggling student filmmakers, or we're Brazilian filmmakers or Irani filmmakers, and like we don't have a lot of resources. Can you give us a waiver? And I'm like, fuck, man, can you please just tell me something about your movie, please? Something. Yeah. And then they tell me about their movie, and it's like, I could read you some of these emails, but they're like, this is a movie about a struggling, an ex-husband struggling against alcoholism to try to clean his act up to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, like, what does that have to do with Sick and Wrong, man?
Like, that might be a great movie.
Yeah.
It might be fantastic.
Yeah.
Why do you think it should play at Sick and Wrong? Like, what are you thinking?
I think some people just want to be in festivals. I don't think they care. Yeah.
And in fairness, I'm putting a lot of weight on the filmmakers. I don't want to. There is a misguided but energetic notion among film communities right now that all fests are scams. I think this idea is grossly misguided and grossly misinformed, but there are a lot of filmmakers. No, let me rephrase that. There are a few filmmakers who have got it in their heads that all fests are scams, and therefore they are now being very, very loud in online communities about this.
And villainizing them. Type thing.
Right. And it's crap.
I think it's because it doesn't give them what they expect.
It doesn't give them what they expect. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I will tell, well, but let me finish my thought and then I'll
go for it.
I think these people are tragically misinformed and misguided.
Mm-hmm.
However, we live in a complicated universe. I have also been to festivals where I look at the programs and I think, what the fuck was your mission statement? You just accepted everything.
Yeah.
You just accepted all kinds of random shit.
Yeah.
Like, these things don't belong together. There's no artistic voice to this festival. And I think, yes, a festival should have an artistic voice. Right. I think a festival should have a mission. And I think there are a lot of festivals out there that don't have a mission. And instead, they want to say yes to as many people as they can because they get to be the good guy to as many people as they can. And they end up with this fucking mashed potato lineup that doesn't make any sense together. So
it has no personality.
It has no personality to it.
Yeah.
So like, you know, I say, oh, my festival is sick and wrong. It's for underground movies. It's for midnight movies. It's for weird movies. It's for uncategorizable stuff. And you say, yeah, I've heard that before, but I've been to festivals that accept everything. So I'm just going to ask if I can get into yours too.
Get it. Yeah. Also, I don't actually know about this subset of people that are now against film festivals. I haven't experienced that, thankfully. Yeah. But I'll say this, like, number one, this friendship,
Stephen
and Bob, our friendship with Kate and Sophia and Michael, even the fact that we made a movie this year.
I was going to make a joke about, like, if anybody asked me, I was going to say, like, oh, it's great working with Rob and Katie and Sophie and Mike, or Sophie and Mick. Fuck.
Mick.
Yeah.
Mick James Epfop. Yeah, no, I was going to say that, like, we've talked about this, all of us together.
Yeah.
You're in Florida, I'm in Baltimore, they're in California. Kate is she's in British. I mean, like, yeah. She's in. I said she's British, but whatever. Yeah. She's not listening to this. She's too busy working on actual Hollywood movies. Anyway.
Yeah, she's busy directing the next Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel, right. What I was going to say is, though, like, we've talked about this. We all are very aware that festivals are not a stepping stone to Hollywood. Like,
yes.
Like I don't know if you take offense to this. I don't view Sick and Wrong as some sort of, like, rung on a ladder or anything like that.
No, so,
it's not. I don't think you view it like that. You know why you're doing it. You're doing it to display movies you love and to get the word out there to like-minded people about movies they would like. I mean, right? Is that not? Am I off there?
You're not. Sorry, I'm letting Kate know what you just said.
You could tell her after. Okay.
No, so okay, let me respond to that. My driving force, my single most important motivation when I created Sick and Wrong was not just to have the weirdest movies, was not just to have the bizarre stuff. My overwhelming desire was to create a space that filmmakers would want to be a part of,
right?
Where they would feel welcome to. So I will tell you, anybody listening right now, Sick and Wrong is not a market festival,
right?
There are no distributor scouts in the audience, or if they're there, they haven't contacted me.
They're just there because they love it.
They're just there, they love it.
Yeah.
Sick and Wrong is a place for weirdo creators to come and hang out with other weirdo creators and, you know, get drunk and watch each other's movies. And I think, do I think this is a noble goal? I don't know. That's a stupid question that I just asked myself.
I wasn't trying to throw that on you, but yeah.
But I do think that it's worthwhile. I think
it's worthwhile. I think you enjoy it. I think there's value to you personally. Like, you have created a community for yourself with people who love and make things you love. I mean,
and they've gone on to make things together. That's something that's been really important to me, is like they've in fact, like, you know, I don't want to suck my own dick too hard here, but like, you and Kate and Michael and Sophia all met each other
through literally a Sick and Wrong Zoom.
Right. I put a Zoom together because I just grabbed, like, I picked filmmakers who seemed very different, but who really seemed to sort of embrace
what it was,
what the festival was, and I used you guys as PR.
Yeah, and that was kind of my point. Was we have all talked about this, and what those people that are denigrating film festivals, they're only looking at them as
they're like
a ladder. If I get into a festival, then I get into this, and I get into this. Mm-hmm. I'm directing Captain Marvel.
Right. My 4-minute movie played at the Boise Underground Film Festival.
Right.
And so far, Universal Studios has not called me.
Right.
Fuck film festivals.
Right. To me, now that's what I'm saying is we're proof. Mm-hmm. And we've actually discussed it, that the actual value is just meeting other like-minded people.
It's the community,
possibly making new friends and new connections, new collaborators. That's kind of the point, people.
I will say, okay, it could be something. I don't want to. Okay, so I have said many times. I have said that exact thing many times. I have said many times that the Florida Film Festival changed my life, and that's true. It's 100% true, and I can tell you exactly when it happened. It was 2013. Okay. Now I had made, so I went to, I'll leave this for your visual watchers right now, not your listeners. They don't get this whole joke, but I went to film school in
I mean,
2002.
that sounded like air quotes. So
It sounded like
yeah,
so
yeah.
I went to a place that's sort of a film school in 2002 and graduated in 2003. And I made a movie in 2003. I made a short film on 16 millimeter.
Hmm.
I raised a little bit of money through dumb means. It doesn't matter. I shot a film on 16 millimeter, and
Wow, real film.
no, it was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we developed it, and did the telecine. I had my DP.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I admire that.
It was great.
Yeah.
But when I look at that movie now, I think that's not me.
Hmm.
So I went from 2003 to 2013 without making any more movies. And it was because I didn't really know who I was as a maker.
Right.
Then in 2013, I went to the Florida Film Festival. I volunteered that year, and they had a midnight shorts program. And I said, what's that? That sounds weird. That sounds interesting. I'll go watch that. And so I went to the Midnight Shorts program. The first movie, and I'm sure the guy, like I tagged him a few times on Facebook when I've said this before, and maybe he gets embarrassed about it. If you post this, you should tag him again just to embarrass him again. But there's a filmmaker named Steve Gerard, and he made a movie called Wowed Up.
Say it again.
Wowed Up. It's WAWD.
Okay.
AHP. And it's on Vimeo and it's on YouTube, and you should go fucking watch it right this goddamn minute.
I'll watch it after we're done.
It's incredible. It changed my life because it was the first short in this block. And it was the weirdest thing I had ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like I had seen Eraserhead.
Mm-hmm.
I had already seen Eraserhead. But Steve Gerard's short film Wad Up taught me in 2.5 minutes that filmmaking could be whatever the fuck I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
That it wasn't tied like my mom, when I first went to film school, my mom was like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch you collect your Oscar." And I knew she was wrong, but I didn't really know why at the time.
Right.
I was just like, "Oh, I want to make movies. I want to make important movies, I guess. I want to make movies about stuff, whatever."
I think that's what's instilled in us naturally.
It is built as so. Yeah. This movie, I'll tell you, I'm not going to spoil it because there's no spoiling it, because there's like literally you can't spoil it because what happens in it is so just mind melting that there's no preparing you for it. But it starts off with this like white cornrowed guy rapping. Okay. And he then cuts his own head off and continues to rap. And then his body takes his head into a bathtub and starts fucking the neck stump. And
I mean, that's kind of a spoiler, to be honest.
Then it gets weird.
Okay.
At that point is when it starts to get weird. And it was amazing. It was beautiful. And it was unlike anything I had ever seen before in my life. And two things happened at that moment. That planted two seeds. First of all, it made me know what kind of movies I wanted to make.
Right.
Like I walked out of the theater that night after that hour and a half, and I was like, oh, this is my life now. This is what it's going to be for me. It also planted the seed because it made me want a whole festival of shit like that.
Right. You wanted to concentrate it into your veins.
I did. I wanted nothing. Yeah. I never wanted to watch another theater movie. I just wanted this, constantly this, just pumped into me like that body was pumping its cock into this neck stump of the... Anyway. So the next year is when I made my first movie that I consider my first movie of my oeuvre. It's not great. Like it haunts me because I think the script is too good for the level of filmmaking I was capable of at the time. Right. Like I had good actors and everything. I don't want to say anything bad about the actors or my crew.
You meant the production and like the voice.
Yeah. It's me. Yeah. Like the failure was on me. I was not a good enough director at the time to make the movie that the script. So I'm haunted by the script. I want to remake this script, but I started making weird movies then. And then in 2015, I decided, you know what, we're going to make a festival. I'm going to make a festival. I'm going to make a whole festival dedicated to just this shit. I didn't get it. I came up with the idea in 2015 and started getting things moving. The first one was in 2016. And I thought that it was going to be a one-off. I thought it was just going to be a little one-time event for me to have fun, kind of maybe get it out of my system, maybe. But there was so much response among filmmakers.
It's an interesting category that's not held
it really
up.
is.
Yeah.
One of the things that I loved that I discovered about when I started running this festival is that like there are a lot of, and this isn't like, I don't think you fall in it. Well, maybe you do fall in this category. I don't know. You tell me. But this doesn't cover all the filmmakers who play it sick and wrong. But there are a lot of filmmakers who play it sick and wrong whose movies, like in general, they work day jobs in the industry. They edit commercials, or they edit industrials, or they archive corporate training videos or something like that, or they stage the glistening burger patties for Wendy's commercials or some shit like that. And they get really kind of frustrated, and they make some kind of bizarre catharsis movie on the side.
Okay, so if I'm honest, that's 100% me.
Is that you? Okay, that makes sense.
Because at the time, I was not only working as an editor. I still technically am a freelance editor, but I was on like involved with 2 or 3 friends on giant, never-ending projects that I didn't have a voice in, and they were using up all my personal time. And I was so angry about it, and they're good people. I love them, and it's still to this day. But like, I went and started making my own stuff, and it flew out of me, and I did everything I wasn't supposed to do. I did like literally. You've seen even like going back to poetry. I did everything I wasn't supposed to do. Everyone told me I wasn't supposed to do this stuff. I did it. Then I ended up winning like an Independent Spirit Award and stuff. And I was like, okay, so if I just open my brain up and let out everything in my life on this, it works, and people respond to it, and it also gets out all the anger and frustration I have with all the normal stuff I got to do.
Yeah, and that's what, like, there's this well, I don't want to talk about that anyway. But that's I want to tap into that. I feel like there's this real, like, this rich, throbbing vein of interesting shit running through people that gets tamped down most of the time. And Sick and Wrong is all about like slicing that shit open and letting it spray all over the place, And
I think if I can compliment you, I would permit it. You'll permit it. I'll say this, like, to go back, like when we were talking about me worrying about Sick and Wrong, I got that vibe, and what the vibe that I made sure, and I think you kind of, with your actual social media, you fixed it in my brain, because I was like, is this like a hate festival? Is it like is Sick and Wrong mean like, we're gonna make like homophobic movies or something like that? That's it. You know what I mean? Like, it sucks because you didn't intend that, but like, I thought wrong. What is wrong?
No, you're right.
And you on your social media totally cleared it up for me, because I remember you posted like there was a discount for LGBTQ and all that. I was like, all right, this is the right type of wrong. It's wrong as in like social standards. It's not wrong as in like, let's fucking punch down, like none of that. So that in my brain solidified it into the exact voice that I was drawn to. I hope we're not talking too lofty here, but
no.
But
I mean, maybe
because I don't think I would have. I mean, like, if it was the other way, I would have been like, please don't play my movie. I want out.
No, I hate that shit. Like, it drives me nuts. I've been to those festivals, and like, I get those submissions. I get the people who think, the edgelords who are sitting there thinking that like offense is the fun thing, and I
mean, offense in a certain way is okay. Like, it's offensive to watch someone fuck their own neck.
right. But for instance, and I don't mind calling them out. They can fucking block me on Facebook. I don't give a shit. But there's a filmmaker, and I don't remember their name, but they submitted a movie, at least 2 for sure. I think maybe 3 different years in a row. And it was the same movie. It was a fake commercial they called Transgender Barbie.
Yeah, no.
And it was everything you think it is right now. I don't even have to describe it. It was just, wow, transgenders sure are goofy, huh? And fuck you.
It's probably, I'm assuming that this is a white dude making.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Yeah, it's a white guy making. No. And Sick and Wrong's not all about that. Not about that.
Why did he submit it more than once?
I don't know.
Like, not only are you making that, but you're also a moron. Like, you didn't get in, dude. Stop.
It's not like a re-edit or a reshoot, it's just the same fucking thing over and over again. And like, I don't care. Like, I get I get kind of insulted, but all it really means is that they haven't done their research. You know,
Right.
they're sitting on Film Freeway and
That's a
they're
loaded
going,
term these days. Done their research.
oh shit, yeah, fuck, no,
Yeah.
okay, so they haven't
I know
looked at
what you
Sick and
mean. I'm
Wrongs. Yeah,
joking.
yeah.
I'm joking.
But I mean, like, I guess I should not complain about it because they're subsidizing the filmmakers I do want to come to Sick and Wrong, but I don't want, like, one of the stories, you know, Mike and Sophia. I never call him Mike. You guys call him Mike. It's weird. I don't call him Mike. Anyway,
Sophia calls him
calls
Mike.
him Mike. Yeah, but
so
she's
I call him
married
Mike.
to him. So like,
I always
like
call him Michael. I try to.
Michael. But they told me, so I hounded them one year at Genre Blast. Like I met them at Genre Blast, and
was it the year we met?
No, it was
the year
before that. It was like the year before that. And I brought I brought a bunch of Sick and Wrong tote bags and I was handing them out. And the Sick and Wrong tote bag features a piece of, the one that I was handing out features a piece of art by Jimmy Gigerich. And it's great. It's gorgeous. It's
Jimmy,
like
I don't know if he listens. He doesn't. I don't think he
doesn't listen. It's probably
but
not,
he's a good friend.
He's a good, and he's a great artist. But he has a very like horror adjacent oeuvre in his art, I would say. I don't think you'd be mad to hear me say that.
No. I mean, he makes horror shirts for a living.
Yeah, he makes horror shirts for a living. And that's great. So I foisted one of these tote bags off on Sophia and Michael, and you know, I don't know, I probably tried to talk them into watching my movie, and they were totally justified in thinking, okay, well, here's a dude. He's a big, fat, shaven-headed white guy with tattoos all over his arms. He runs a festival called Sick and Wrong, and here I am looking at a tote bag with a tentacle and a panty hanging off of it. You know, this guy's a total edgelord, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I don't fault them for that. I'm not mad at them for that. But then they watched my movie, The Jerry Show, and they were like, oh, this is different. And like you fast forward a couple years from there, and you know, we've been working on features together now. We've been working on these projects together, and that's the thing is like they didn't do any research. I forced it on them. They had to watch my movie.
I promise I'm not an edgelord. See?
Yeah. See? Yeah. Look
at me. Look at me. Yeah. You do have kind of, I mean, the sad part is it's not your fault, is that your look and the name of your festival.
Right.
Like I get the same thing, man. Look at me. I like, you know, people.
I don't know what I would change it to. I don't know what I'd change the name to.
Well, no. What I'm saying, I was just talking about your person and everything about you. It could go one way easily in people's minds, and you like, it's not your fault that you have to be like, hey, I'm not like I look.
I promise I'm not like I look. Please,
you know what I mean? Like people see me and I've gotten like, are you in a heavy metal band? Or you know,
are
like.
You?
No, I can't play an instrument. I don't know anything about music, but I get that kind of shit. Like, oh, that guy plays, he reads too many comic books.
That dude probably lives on Reddit and like,
right.
Yeah.
You got to like convince people because of the way you look and the things you like that, like, no. I understand how you could think that.
No, I could, but if you look at me and you're like, oh, there's some, you know, Reddit incel. I'm like, okay, I understand why you think that. Give me a minute. Just give me a minute, please.
Yeah. Like, look at that guy over there. I bet on a Trump thread he says, well, actually. I swear to God, that's not me. It's not your fault, but you kind of have to do the work.
Yeah. No, I understand it, and you know, I'm totally comfortable that. I mean, I'm a white cis man. Like, that's the amount of effort. Like that amount of effort to get people to give me a chance is
to get good people to give you a good
people. Right. It's like it's nothing. It's compared to what other people have to fucking fight against to overcome. Prejudices against their appearances. I don't give a shit. It's fine. I'm all right.
So argue in Michael and Sophia's favor. The filmmaking world.
I said they were right.
No. I'm not saying you were arguing against them.
Okay.
But as we know, the filmmaking world is filled with a lot of edgelord white dudes.
Oh my God, bro!
Like you're literally walking through a minefield. That's why. Like when somebody tries to friend one of us on Facebook, we all go, "Is this
like
person okay?
Do you know this guy? Is this guy?
Cool? Anybody know if this guy like is he an anti-vaxxer? Give me something. I want to make sure it's okay. But like, because it's a minefield in the filmmaking world, just like I'm sure everywhere. But man, filmmaking attracts some egotistical white men
Oh my God,
that
yeah.
are capable of quite the atrocity.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's 100% true, man. And they submit their shit to my festival. And okay, I okay. I don't know how many filmmakers listen to your podcast.
I don't know either. I don't even know who listens to
no, who listens to it.
Well, Michael Winslow fans and Eve Six fans. There you go. That's it. That's it.
Man, what does that fucking that Venn diagram look like, man? But like, there will be filmmakers who submit to the festival, and in like 1 minute later, send me a friend request, and I'm like, I think this may be premature. You know, like, just wait. Oh, you went mute. Why'd you go mute? Did you go mute? Did I go mute? I can't hear you right now. Can you hear you? My volume's up. My shit's all together. Is it Jen's fault? Jen,
hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I turned my mic off by accident.
Oh, good job.
There's a button down here. My belly hit it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it in a safe place. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so like I don't know why people do it. They submit to your festival and they immediately send you a friend request. I guess assuming that makes it more likely you'll select them or something. Anyway, my point is, like,
that's awkward.
It is really super awkward, because I was in the past. First of all, let me say, anybody listening to this right now, if by some fucking miracle you think I sound like an interesting person, I welcome you to send me a friend request. However, if you think, oh, I'll send him a friend request because he'll be a good networking contact, don't do that. Fuck, do not network with me over Facebook. It's the worst. I have like 300 friends now who are nothing but I've never interacted with ever. They just send me friend requests. And there was a point in time where I was just accepting off friend requests as long as you weren't like an obvious piece of shit.
Right.
So anyway, my point is, like, I have accepted friend requests. I've been less picky about it in the past from people who submitted, and then I rejected their films, and then they started getting really fucking weird in my comments and stuff.
I'm only laughing because of how, like, but that's really funny. Like from an aerial view, that is hilarious.
Those messages, yeah, it's
this guy fucking hates me because I did. It's like a Seinfeld bit or something. This guy hates me because I didn't let his film.
Right. I used to get I actually got some good advice. I shouldn't say actually, like Jason Tostovan knows his shit. He's a guy who runs Nightmares Film Festival, which
now he looks like Thor.
Now, yeah, he's
like a sexy
man.
Thor, man.
He's fucking gorgeous in that photo.
Shit.
But he runs the Nightmares Film Festival, which is a horror film festival and a fun horror festival that I've attended. But I used to, in the early years of Sick and Wrong, I would customize my rejection letters and try to make them sound as personable as possible and be self-deprecating, put all my humor in and put like a page. And I would get hate mail. I would get vicious, bloody hate mail from people when I sent the rejections out. So for the last couple of years, he gave me the piece of advice. He's like, don't do that. Just say, thank you for submitting. You're not selected. And I basically do that. I just say, keep it nice and short. And hate mail stopped. The rejection hate mail just came to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is. I revealed myself to be a human, and they're like,
yeah. Also, anyone that would get mad at somebody for rejecting their movie,
it doesn't know what this is all about. Like, it doesn't know the point of submitting to festivals.
I don't know about you, but I've been rejected from like hundreds of festivals.
Oh my God, dude!
That's what this is. Except for yours.
Except for mine.
And that's why we're talking right now, because if you rejected me, fuck you.
Sorry for the people listening to this instead of watching this, but Jen, it got a little dark. It's now like close to 8:30. So Jen turned on the living room lights. The mix of the yellow fluorescent lights and the white sunlight that's still coming through a little bit through the window now makes me look like a erect penis. Like I'm purple. My whole face is purple, and
it's a Zoom call. It's not supposed to look good. I don't know.
You don't look like a penis.
I mean, I got some natural light coming out of there, but there's I mean, whatever. I got warm room lights, so I don't know.
Yeah, I got the warm and the cool, and together it just looks like I'm a purple dude sitting in the middle of a nice warm homey room.
When I thought about trying to figure out a way or buying something that I could hook my good camera up to my computer, I was like, I was like, man, I'm gonna have to make a whole setup. I was like, fuck that. I'll just look like
fucking
shit.
nightmare.
I'll just look like shit. I don't care.
I swear to God,
I don't care.
They don't build these things. Like, you can't just
plug it in.
You can't plug it in. I bought one of these.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, so there's a piece of advice. There's a device called a Cam Link that I have never used because it costs $300 goddamn dollars. But I did buy the $10 knockoff of the Cam Link, and it kind of sort of works.
Yeah.
But like, I connected for the birthday stream on Sunday. I connected my Canon 5D up to my camera with the Cam Link, and like, it just takes whatever would be showing on the back of the camera.
Right.
Which means I'm getting those letterboxes, I'm getting the weird fade, and I'm getting the focus box, and I'm getting all the readouts and stuff. And you can make those go away with hassle. But in the end, it was such a fucking pain in the ass. And then you got to set your camera up. You got to get a fake battery adapter
and all this shit.
and you got to have something to plug it in because the battery was going to die after 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so I said, fuck, I'm just going to use my fucking laptop.
I literally spent like the last week looking into it myself. Like, for some reason I was just like, how can I, because I have this Mac right here. It's 2013 Mac.
Yeah.
The camera is just atrocious. I don't know why. Yeah. It's just
I didn't know the 2013 even had a camera in it.
Yeah, they had a camera on it. But that's why I'm doing this on my laptop, because the camera is marginally better. But I was looking it up, like, maybe I should buy like a high quality webcam and maybe a mic setup and all this. And I was like, I looked into it and I was like, I'm gonna have to spend what to do all this properly? And I was like, I've been using my fucking laptop and my headset. Fuck this. I don't care anymore.
Dude, I bought this webcam that I used. It's kind of a high res webcam, and I used it for all the Jenkins stuff that I shot. At least here, the production meeting stuff that I shot for Jenkins. And you guys all said I look weird and it's all bizarre and strange. Like, fuck it. It doesn't matter. Your laptop camera's fine.
We all were looking terrible for a year, and we always still do. I mean, this looks terrible. But whatever.
Well, you're not purple, at least. You're not like,
no, but I am like
swollen penis headed.
This camera
purple.
has like, look at the grain on my nose. It's weird. I don't know.
We should turn on improve appearance and Zoom. It looks ridiculous.
The only reason I started doing Shrimp Night with it's the only one I do video with, is because I felt like if I made a YouTube channel, there had to be something with video. It can't be all JPEGs. I was like, something with video. And since it's all Zoom calls, whatever, might as well. Yeah. Man, we really got off topic.
I put a shirt on for you. I want everybody who's watching this on YouTube, I want you to know this is not the Joker.
It looks like the Joker.
This is not the Joker. It's supposed to look like that Joker shirt, but this is Matthew Lesko. The guy who wants to give you free money from the government. Nobody remembers this. You remember Matthew Lesko? You remember Matthew Lesko? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is an amazing shirt by a guy named Rory Blank. His website is skeletonwizard.com, and everybody should check it out because he makes these fucking wild ass shirts, and he pre-sells them for like 2 weeks and then makes them and then never makes them again. You will never have a sweet ass Matthew Lesko shirt from Rory Blank.
I guess not.
But
that's the guy who used to have like Riddler.
Right? He had those late night commercials. I'd always see him on like Cartoon Network.
I'm surprised he isn't more of a cult legend. You know,
he should be.
He should be, because he was everywhere.
A bigger character than the fucking Joker. But
he was part of our childhood.
He was.
I didn't even understand what he was doing.
He wanted you to get free No, his book, by the way, was a scam. Like, it's all free information. But he was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he was a lot. I mean, but it's a deep cut.
It's a deep cut right
there.
That
is a fucking deep cut. Why doesn't he have question marks on the shirt?
He does have question marks on the shirt. They're just white.
Oh, I can't see it from here. The way, Oh, okay, yeah, I can see it now.
Oh shit!
I believe you. It's not like I think you're lying. That's awesome. I would honestly thought
it's Matthew Lesko.
I should have assumed that you would never wear a Joker shirt.
Did you think I was wearing a Joker shirt? Ugh, killing me.
I didn't want to ask. I wasn't going to bring it up. I was like, Steven wearing a Joker
I just spent
shirt.
like an hour telling you that I'm not an incel, and you're like,
all right,
nice Joker shirt.
Okay, just as we were saying, you can like Batman and the Joker and not be an incel. Okay.
Yeah. When you ask somebody what their favorite movie is, and they say Fight Club, It
There's
could
two
be.
ways.
There's two ways. There's two ways
Right.
that could go. You could
And
be like, ooh.
was it your status recently? Somebody had a status recently that was like asking for people's favorite movies.
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
And somebody did say Fight Club.
Yeah, my friend Michelle, she says Fight Club's her favorite movie.
And I'm sure she's okay,
I have
right?
never pried deeper on it.
But I'm sure she's not the bad type of person.
No, yeah,
right?
she's not a men's rights activist.
Right, exactly. Right. She's not calling everybody snowflakes and shit.
Right.
I personally do love Fight Club.
She doesn't trigger the cucks. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I love Fight Club. I don't say it a lot because of that reason. I don't want anyone to go, oh.
Same here. Yeah, like oh God, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I'm a big Rick and Morty fan, but the worst thing
Rick and Morty fucking rules.
It does. You know what doesn't
and you can't say it anymore because everyone thinks you're a fucking asshole.
Right. The worst thing about Rick and Morty is the fan.
It's the fan base.
Man, it's the fucking fans.
Dude, I have friends. I have now this is totally valid, and I have no room to talk. But I have like women friends who will say if somebody says something about Rick and Morty on a date, it's over.
They're just out, yeah.
And I'm like, I can't say it's wrong.
Right.
I'm not going to even say anything.
Predictor. It's a really accurate predictor.
Right. And I'm not even going to respond to the status.
Listen.
But it's like, I really think it's a great show that's way smarter than the internet jokes.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be that guy, you know?
Let me be clear that you will never see me protesting at a McDonald's for not having some fucking sauce. Like, I get the joke. Okay?
And you won't see me saying that like I'm a genius because I can understand the humor.
Oh, right. If you don't like Rick and Morty, it must be because you're dumb.
Right. I would never say that.
I don't understand it.
It's just like, and I won't even argue it on a Facebook thread. I won't say,
fuck it. Like,
actually, it's a great show.
See, fuck all that.
I won't even. And the fact that I won't bring it up anymore shows you where we are. Because I'm like, it's not worth me having to go defend the show and then defend myself.
Right.
I don't have the energy anymore.
I don't. Yeah. No, I don't. But if you have a rule against Rick and Morty fans,
just have it.
Please go for it.
I'm gonna watch it. I've watched the entirety of it like 4 times. I'll be honest.
Man, I haven't even watched season 4 yet. I bought it.
Season 4 is so good. It's
I know.
So good. But I don't want to have this enthusiasm you're seeing.
Yeah, you don't want.
Nobody sees that because I don't want to mention it. I don't want to say it out loud because then everyone's like, "Oh, look at this dude."
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
like when you and just the same with Fight Club. Like when you say that your favorite movie is Fight Club, I don't know. There's like a solid 70% chance that you think Tyler's a hero,
right?
And you masturbate to fantasies of living in a post-apocalyptic world. Guess what, man? You would fucking die in a post-apocalyptic world. Right. Or an even greater insult to your whole little not you, obviously, Bob, but
I know you weren't talking to me. Yeah.
An even greater insult to your whole little jerk off survivalist worldview is that you would live through a post-apocalypse because people are kind of okay. This is going to be a shocker, but humanity has been through apocalypses.
Yeah.
And you know what the first thing that happens after every apocalypse is that people try to rebuild society.
Societal contracts.
Always done this shit, man.
Now, I think like Fight Club, it speaks to the angry like adolescent male.
Man, do you remember?
And it's trolling the adolescent male, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Totally. And I think even when I saw it the first time, I didn't get that. I just knew something was up.
Tyler's so charismatic.
He is, and he's Brad Pitt. So you're like, I want to have sex with this human, and and listen to whatever he
wants me to do. He says, "I'm not a beautiful and unique snowflake." Okay,
sure, you're really hot, dude.
You are. I think it's funny that somebody. I'm not the one who pointed this out. It was somebody on Cracked back when I used to read Cracked, but like
I used to love Cracked. Yeah,
I used to love Cracked. It went
too
through
bad it destroyed it. It destroyed itself. It got rid of but it got rid of all the good people.
They didn't have okay. I don't want to get into this.
That's a big topic.
Jason Pargin has a bunch of YouTube videos where he explains what happened.
Yeah.
And it was vulture capitalism is what did it. Like they got big doing what they were doing right. And then two forces combined to fuck them. One of them was Facebook lying about the performance of videos. That fucked a lot of websites.
Yeah.
That screwed a ton of websites. College Humor, Cracked, Onion got screwed really hard. Every website that you used to like that went down because Facebook fucking lied about how well videos were performing.
That's insane.
On top of that, Cracked grew itself. It grew its brand really hardcore and did a lot of good stuff. And then it got bought by an old media company that had no fucking clue what to do with it.
Or why it was
None.
working. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then they couldn't capitalize on it, and so they sold it to one of these vulture capitalist firms that just kept hacking away at it, and now it's trying to build back up and it's doing better now. But like the point is, like, it's not in its heyday anymore, that's for sure. I shouldn't even
Dan O'Brien, right? And
Dan O'Brien,
God, he was funny.
He was hilarious, man. He still is hilarious. He's just not hilarious on Cracked.
Yeah, he has his own
he's
YouTube channel.
He's also a writer on The Daily Show, I think. Or no, that's Soren Bowie. Soren Bowie's on The Daily. No, Soren Bowie's on American Dad. Whatever.
Also, it's the what's his name? Why can't I think of it? The guy who wrote John Dies at the End.
Jason Pargin.
Yeah, he came from Cracked, right?
Yeah. Well, sort of. Cracked, and he there's a weird. You were asking questions that I know too much about.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. What were we talking about before Cracked?
So before Cracked, I was saying that Tyler Durden likes to tell you that you're not your job, that you're more important than your job. And then you see Tyler Durden is kind of his job, right? He's an independent business owner who, he makes soap, and like everything he's doing is based on like the money that he makes. His independence, his living is based on the soap that he makes, and the crimes he's committing are all based on making more soap out of like human fat. It's just a weird irony.
He's a hypocrite at almost every
He's
turn.
a hypocrite. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that he is
a unique, beautiful snowflake.
He is a unique, beautiful snowflake. Yeah. So, he's a cult leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so if you tell me that you love Fight Club because of what it says about like humanity, I can be like, oh, okay, all right. But if you tell me you love Fight Club because, that's your fantasy, is to reject society and blow up a corporate artwork and fuck, no, we're not going to hang out, man. No. Sorry. It's not going to happen.
I think even, what was it, that College Humor, they did a video where it was like the Bro Movie Awards.
Oh yeah.
And then at the end it was like, and our best picture is, just like after the last 3 years, Fight Club.
Fight Club again.
Or it was like Jared's Fight Club DVD.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you can't say you like Fight Club in public anymore. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, be careful, because the people we hate also probably complain that you can't say you love Fight Club anymore, right?
How about that? Okay, yeah. What are me and you afraid of? We're afraid of people we actually respect as good people thinking we're a bad person, or that holds bad values. They're thinking something. They're thinking of cancel culture or something.
There's a phenomenon, like, how it is. I don't know if it happens to you. You live in Baltimore. I bet you have more weirdos in your life than I do.
I mean, it's Baltimore, dude.
It's Baltimore.
That's why I say Sick and Wrong would thrive here. I'm not telling you to move.
Would it thrive, or would it get lost in the shuffle? Because I feel like maybe
there's no film fest like Sick and Wrong in Baltimore.
No, okay. Well, I think about it a lot. I think about it because like Florida sucks. But like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, like most people, they have enough room in their brains to assign you one trait.
Yeah.
And for a long time, regrettably, the one trait most people assigned me back when I lived in like Augusta, Georgia, the one trait people assigned me was, oh, he's the guy who really likes Tool, the band Tool.
Okay.
And because of that, people would say things to me like, oh, you like Tool? You love this friend of mine. He likes Tool too. And then I meet that friend and I hate him and want him to die. And I took to explaining to people, listen, I do love the music of Tool. I'm a big fan. I love the polyrhythms. I love I'm a sucker for all the structure of these songs, and I like them a lot. The worst part about every Tool show I've ever been to was the people at the Tool show. I can't stand them. They suck.
I would say the same thing for me, except it would just simply be film guys.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Film guys.
I don't feel like it happens now, but like like 10 years ago, people were like, "You gotta meet my friend. He's so into filmmaking. You love him." And then I meet it, and they're like this film school fucking pretentious prick that I can't fucking stand.
It's like saying, "Oh man, you love this guy. This guy loves art."
Yeah, like everyone loves
Okay,
movies.
everyone.
What are you, insane?
Wait,
Yeah.
are we talking Dada? Or are we talking Renaissance? I don't know, or impressionist. What
Right.
you know, like
Right.
Are we talking Basquiat or are we talking Caravaggio? You know,
There's
there's
so
two
many
different.
subcategories
Yeah.
here. Usually, though, I feel like I was introduced to people who were like your standard film school Oscar contender people. You know,
Yeah.
like they're and
Well,
they're not my deal, because the two things most of the things I love are not usually what the Oscars are putting up there. I've loved the Oscar movies, don't get me wrong, but like if you're like that, if you're like a film school guy who thinks you're going to be standing on that stage one day and you're the next Scorsese, we're probably not going to get along.
Yeah, it's not gonna be. Yeah, it's like my mom.
I love Scorsese, and we're not going to get along. We're not going to get along. Yeah.
I never had the heart to explain to my mother why she will never see me winning an Oscar. It's not even something I aspire to.
Right. I mean, I would want to win one just so I could get up on there and say weird shit.
Yeah,
Like, what did that guy say? What did he do? Like, it's an opportunity to do something funny that's memorable.
Yeah. I think the best I possibly have to hope for would be like one of the guys in the background when there are 30 people up on stage collecting the Oscar for some category, and like two of them get to talk or something like that. But it still won't be me.
I mean, I do watch the Oscars. I know you don't. And I know there's no point in it really, but like there's moments that I always remember, like when Peter Jackson won Best Director. Like, even the fact that it was this fat guy, because he was still fat then. And his belly was literally spilling out the bottom of his shirt.
That's awesome.
And I was like,
that's so awesome.
And regardless of what, we don't have to review the Lord of the Rings movies, but I was like, to me, I was like, for me, I was like, this is why I love these movies. Look at that guy's shirt. His fucking gut is hanging out of his shirt.
Still fucking, and
he's standing up there holding the statue and he looks like a fucking slob. And I was like, he is not your typical Oscar winner. Okay.
Was it the Oscars or was it Cannes where Parker and Stone took acid and showed up in dresses? Was it Cannes or the Oscars?
I think it was the Oscars. But I know
either
what you're talking about. It was the Jennifer Lopez dress and the
and they're just like fucking tripping balls hanging out at this festival, like
right. And I was like, back then, even I was like, okay, these are my people. You know, back then, you know, I know
South Park has become like a haven for mushroom libertarians. I can't.
They you know what? I was really proud of them for walking back their man bear pig stuff.
Oh yeah,
they apologized for it.
That's good.
So
that's
that was. I remember when that happened, everyone was like, "Wow, they showed growth," and I was like, "Okay,
that's possible."
But I'm still gonna always worship. I love that movie. I'm always gonna worship the movie. I'm a big fan of it.
Which one?
South Park.
South Park. Okay. Well, I mean,
you know, that was a long time ago, though.
I liked Orgasmo a lot.
Oh,
I don't know how that hold up. I haven't watched that in forever. I should do that for the podcast.
I think, Orgasmo is great. I think if Trey Parker grows a little bit, he's still an incredible artist.
Yeah.
Like, he knows story structure and he's funny as shit. You can't argue that. You know what I mean? But
a big red flag for me.
Yeah.
Is anybody, and to be clear, before I say this, let me make it clear. I haven't watched South Park in probably at least a decade, like a solid decade.
I've still kept up.
So you know, this may no longer be valid, but this is valid for other people because other people are still saying this.
Yeah.
Anybody who says, I'm not prejudiced because I hate everyone equally.
Yeah.
Is somebody I can't stand. You're a terrible, stupid human, and I want you to die, and we're not going to get along.
Right.
So I have known people in my life. I don't keep them as friends anymore, but they're earlier stages in my life. They were almost universally young white guys who thought that they were the epitome of enlightenment because they were willing to pick on anybody.
Yeah.
And I started to really get that feel from South Park for a while. Like it was like
you're not wrong there.
okay. And
I
you know, it's a
it.
long time ago. My impression of South Park is not relevant or fair at all.
No,
It's
I
what
think
it is.
we don't need to talk about it at all, really. But I've kept up watching it, and there are moments where I'm like, yay, and moments where I'm like, nay. And I don't profess any love for it currently. But but Trey Parker was such a huge It's one of those things like I don't think he's like he should be wiped off the face of the earth or anything. It's just he's kind of libertarian, sort of.
Yeah.
But
which is dumb,
such a huge influence in my life. It's hard to It's hard to say like I'm done with, you know what I mean? I'm completely done. So I'm kind of there with it. I don't, but once again, I won't comment on a Facebook thread about it. You know?
No, definitely not.
No. I won't like argue about it.
No, I feel like I sometimes I think about like, so I don't watch Seinfeld. I've never been a Seinfeld fan. I have friends who try to get me into Seinfeld.
Yeah, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan.
I just couldn't do it. Like every time fucking Kramer showed up, I would check out. Like I'd be enjoying it for 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, this is fun little banter. I'm kind of getting into this. And Kramer would show up. I'm like, I'm done. He's just too fucking obnoxious. That's not even my point. But like,
I thought you meant because of the thing.
No, it wasn't even that. It was before that. I still didn't. Before his fucking unhinged tirade about
that made it for a great Curb episode
and hanging. I didn't see it. I haven't seen Curb ever.
Oh yeah, I'm a huge Curb fan. Yeah.
My Seinfeld thing was that like there's that Costanza moment, right? Like from that one episode where he tells the best joke he's going to tell that night and everybody's happy with him and so he leaves.
All right, bye.
I feel like I wish a lot of artists had done their Costanza moment, you know?
It's not, you know what's funny? Okay, because like we actually in our own little thread, I think Kate shared it, the thing what Tarantino said this week.
Oh where he said that so many great directors went out on shitty movies or something.
Right. And regardless, let's not review Tarantino, but I think the point
this whole podcast is just saying let's not talk about this.
I'm trying to keep us focused. I'm trying to keep it focused like a host should do.
On shrimp?
Yeah, like shrimp night. Like nights and shrimp. I think the point is sound though. Like sometimes it's like you got to realize, all right, that's enough. That's enough for me.
I think,
and walk away.
There's a couple phenomena I think about. There's the George Lucas phenomena where what was exposed in 1999 that I didn't realize then that I should have realized in 1999. What we learned in 1999 was that the original Star Wars trilogy did not come unbidden
from his
alone
mind.
From the mind of George Lucas. It came from a constellation of creators.
Yeah.
I think about that. And then I think about Stephen King, where like Stephen King, I have enjoyed his writing very much, but you have a strong argument that he needs an editor, you know, like, but when Stephen King is such a juggernaut that what editor would have the balls to say, do we really need, because, okay, let me give you an example. I read,
I get what you're saying.
I read 11/22/63, his book about,
which I haven't read,
you haven't read. So that book is about this long. And to the audio listeners, too fucking bad.
I love the idea of just how long books are by visual thickness.
This is how long it is.
It's not about type and page width. This is all this large.
So the setup of the book, I don't need to waste too much time. The setup of the book is there's a portal back to 1950 something, and a guy decides to stay there long enough to save JFK. That's the whole premise.
Cool
of the
premise.
Book, right? It's a great premise. So if the book is this long, this much of it is awesome. And this much of it is awesome. And then this bit in the middle is like 400 pages of the guy just living the life of a high school teacher in 1959. And like, that's great, man. I so do not give a shit. Not even a little. I don't fucking like, I mean, I'm not even joking. People who've read the book know that I'm not kidding. There's a whole long ass storyline about him trying to convince the quarterback on the football team to star in his production that he's directing of the school play. Like, Jesus Christ, I don't care.
It's not the premise.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And I feel like an editor.
A movie would cut it out too.
A movie would cut it out. Well, the movie version of it was
Oh,
Well,
I didn't even know
boy.
there was a movie.
Yeah, there was it was a mini series on
Okay.
Hulu, I think, and it
Okay.
was not great.
Okay. Wait, but
but like,
who's gonna sit there and be like, Steven, I'm gonna
who's
tell
going
you
to tell Stephen King,
how
right?
to write. You can't. I remember back when episode 1 came out, all the memes, the early memes, were all like Stephen. It would be like not Stephen King, George Lucas would be like literally drunk, and people saying maybe you should. He'd be like, I'm George Lucas, and then just keep drinking.
Yeah.
And it's just like because you couldn't say anything because
What are
he
you gonna
created
say
Star
then?
Wars.
That's the problem with like
Yeah.
from 1977 to 1999, the people who should have known, I guess, forgot that there were so many other artists
Yeah.
responsible for that movie.
It's weird.
So many other people.
It's still weird to me to this day. And I actually am. We cannot talk about Star Wars because that's just.
I haven't seen any.
I know.
The last one I saw was Force Awakens, so I really can't.
Oh, I actually have a planned Strip Night Star Wars episode with a friend.
Oh.
Yeah, just because he's very versed in it.
Is it Anthony Daniels?
No. It's somebody. It's no one famous.
Oh, damn! Well, you got Michael Winslow for your like.
Yeah, that all just comes. It just came about. Don't ask.
You had fucking Eve 6 guy. Eve 6. I feel like a piece of shit because I don't know his name.
Max Collins.
Max Collins.
He was great. He was great.
His tweets are incredible.
What was I going to say? What was I talking about?
Star Wars. The Star Wars episode you're planning.
It's weird to me. The original trilogy was not written really by George Lucas. Like it's Jake Kasdan, the Kasdans. Like that was the guy responsible. And then the prequels, he's not there.
Yeah,
he's completely devoid of it. And I'm like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I mean, with the original trilogy, you had Jake Kasdan, of course, playing a huge role in the writing of it, and then you had all the
visual artists.
Actual artists, the visual actual that's I'm sorry that was a bad word, the visual artists who were creating things, and then you had the editor
things
absolutely
yeah
and then you had what was Lucas's wife did the editing and just like fixed so much in the edit,
and Star Wars, the movie Star Wars was saved in the edit,
so in the 22 years or probably 20 years after that movie came out, we all kind of forgot about all those other people, except in fairness, I guess to us, we didn't know because it was pre-internet. Right?
How would we know any of that?
How would I have known when I was a 12-year-old,
all that mattered was him saying there's going to be new Star Wars movies.
Mm-hmm.
And that felt like God talking that there was a new chapter of the Bible.
Right.
It didn't matter.
And you get to watch it. You get to go read it on the day one.
Honestly, I still say to this day, like episode 1 is one of the best film going experiences of my life. It had nothing to do with the movie because I got off school. I was with all my friends. The buzz was just incredible. It was like we were all about to witness like history. You know what I mean? And the first showing, people were so hyped. We didn't realize anything was wrong.
Right.
I mean, like everything that happened was like, oh, come on me more, please. You know, it was just like, that was an amazing moment. But, you know, then
I went there alone. I went to the theater alone.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
I don't mind going to the theater alone. I know. But when I walked out, I was like, I was so apologetic for the movie already. But I was like, even when I walked out, I was like, I didn't really need that pod racing stuff. But other than that,
the pod race was pretty cool.
That bored me to tears. God,
I like action now. I'm a big fan of it.
I like action. I like action when there's action happening, not when it's like a video game. Like it's all fucking CG,
it is an animated movie.
It's an animated movie.
Honestly, I feel like if the prequels were just animated, they'd be better.
Just go for it, man. Just fucking
make them animated.
That's why I hate have you seen the live action Jungle Book? Fuck you. Have you seen the live action Lion King?
The funny thing is, the Jungle Book actually has more substance to it than the original. It actually has more story. I haven't seen. I've seen all of them. I can tell you about all of them. But that's the one that's actually different enough to almost be like it was worth it, sort of.
I had a lot of fun memories of the original Jungle Book because it was one of those. We had
it's a bare bones movie, man. There's like nothing there.
I haven't watched it in 30 years probably, but like.
It had the best song,
Which one?
Bare
Look for
Necessities.
the
Yeah.
bare necessities.
I mean, Baloo was
The
the
bare
shit.
necessities. Blue. I
He was like,
identified with Baloo.
yeah,
He's
he
a
was the
big,
first
fat,
fat
happy
guy.
guy.
He was a
Yeah.
fat guy, and he was awesome, right? Yeah, yeah. But like the movie itself is very bare bones if you
I
watch
believe
it
that.
now. Yeah, and so the live action remake had a point. It wasn't just like Lion King remade the movie. Like,
Oh, it's just like scene by scene.
but it's worse because the decision to make the animals completely biologically perfect,
it robs them of any personality.
Like, it's so, like, seriously, I saw that in a theater, and it's like the CG is like fucking perfect. It looks like real life. The fact that it's not anything, you're just looking at what computers have created, it's like, oh my god, we've done it. And at the same time, it's like, we did all this, but you took away their reason to emote. A hog can't smile. Lions have no expressions that humans can read. It's really odd. It didn't work.
I read the disturbing theory that every new Disney movie is basically another round in beta testing for films that don't require anybody.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
well, that would be the Lion King, that at most of all of them.
Yeah. And so like they take the feedback from that, and then every new movie it gets a little more sophisticated with little fewer on-screen elements, you know.
So they can just start making actors that don't exist.
Yeah, I mean, they have that stunt bot. Remember, fuck. I don't want to sound like a lunatic. I don't have my tin hat on.
That does sound like a conspiracy
wore
theory,
a tin hat. I wore a tinfoil hat for a movie that I acted in, and that shit is uncomfortable as fuck. That was really painful.
Is the movie good?
It's fine. It was a 48.
Okay.
I had some friends, some horror filmmaker friends who were working on a 48, and they invited me to be their like backwoods conspiracy nut redneck protagonist or antagonist, I guess. Except not really. It was the dog. The dog was the real villain.
What was the title?
Spoiler. Listen, the guys are sweet dudes. They're great
you
dudes.
Don't have
Okay.
To say it. You don't have to say it. You don't want.
The title is Once Upon a Time in ... Florida.
Okay. That's fine. I mean,
it's fine.
Say something terrible. Okay.
No. It's fine. It was one of those. This is what I didn't like about. Okay, so I'm going to plug myself a little bit more.
No, I was about to say we've been talking for 3 hours. Please plug yourself. Plug yourself.
One of the things
you got so much stuff to plug.
One of the things I want to plug is last year, because I got bored in lockdown, Sick and Wrong ran a filmmaking challenge, right?
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be so. I have worked, like, I acted in somebody's 48. That's the extent of my experience creating a 48-hour film. But I've talked to a lot of people who do a lot of 48-hour films, and I took a lot of feedback, and I used that to shape the debacle, which was, the Sick and Wrong held its first, last year we held the first 72-hour film debacle.
Right.
So the first big change is we made a 72 instead of 48, because 48 is a crunch.
Too short, man. 72
is still a crunch, but I want people to enjoy the experience. I don't want them to fucking hate it, Second thing.
It's a three days feels right. Like 1 day to write, 1 day to shoot, 1 day to edit. It kind of works.
Nice. It parses out nicely.
Yeah.
Plus, one of the things the 48s always do, they have weird elements, right? Like they give you a name.
Rules.
They give you a name to give one of the characters. That's one of the things they often do. Like, who gives a fuck what the names are?
Yeah.
It just
it's not artistically sound in any way.
No, it's just guarantees you're gonna have one awkward line of dialogue crammed in where somebody says somebody's name.
Right.
But people don't say each other's names. We haven't said each other's names this whole fucking time unless we were talking about the other. Right. You haven't said, well, Stephen, it doesn't fucking work.
Your name will be in the title of the podcast.
It'll be in the title. They know.
They'll fine. Yeah.
I haven't been like, tell me, Rob, what do you think about, so
Rob.
it doesn't. That's a joke.
I mean,
anyway, the other thing,
my name is Robert, so yeah, fine.
One of the things that bugs me is that they give you a prop, right? So my character was supposed to have he wasn't really a serial killer, but there's like this one shot of, the shot in every serial killer movie where the camera pans across their tools.
Of course, yeah.
And it's like the pliers and the scalpel and the forceps. And
every episode of Dexter I've seen.
Yeah. So our prop was fingernail clippers. So I pass up the tools and the knives and the blades, and I pick up the fingernail clippers, and that's going to be my device. I thought that was silly. So what the debacle does is instead we give you a plot element that is more abstract. It's just something that you incorporate into the story, and then we give you a mood.
Right.
And that's probably going to be the way it works again this year.
I think it worked well.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
It was hard as someone who did it.
Oh, you did do it.
Thank you for remembering.
Yeah, because you were like, because I had fucked up because you said something about not using stock footage for something.
I said I wasn't going to use any stock footage.
And then I got your movie,
it's all
and it was
stock
like,
footage.
it's all stock footage.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it's a shot of me the whole time, too. There's no only stock footage shots.
But, you got emo. And you're like, what is emo?
But the weird thing is like, it was just, which has been my problem this whole time, is I don't want to be on camera. I say this while I'm recording a podcast, on camera.
A video podcast.
But I don't want to act in a movie, especially I don't want to shoot and act.
We both did it for Jenkins, and it was like,
I know,
fuck.
I know, it's excruciating.
Sophie and Michael did a much better job than we.
I know. I watched it back, and I was like, oh my god, I can't stand to look at myself.
8 had a genius move, just popping a mask on.
Right. So that's like the problem for me. Wasn't so much that I was alone. It's like I don't really have the sense of I want to be on camera and do like acting of any sort.
Have to sign up if it was just.
Well, no, I mean I actually really liked what I made because I was like a found footage short where I make fun of my own death. Okay, and that's like I ended up figuring it out. Like, okay, I just
very little Bigfoot in your movie.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. I just had to be me. And sad, but. I didn't really have any gumption to do anything more complicated. I was like, that was the hardest part. So I hope this year.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring it back this year, and
like maybe get another human,
maybe one other person.
Yeah, like a vaccinated friend or something. Yeah, it just because I don't want to film myself.
I hope people sign up for the debacle. The big thing about the debacle is that no matter what happens with the festival, and I'm really gunning to have a live festival, just maybe with some online component, but no matter what happens with the festival, the debacle is once again going to be open to everyone on the planet, and the movies are going to screen online for free. The completed movies will be screened online for free.
And that means you can submit them to IMDb.
That means, okay. Is that a rule for...
No, I think IMDb actually got rid of that. I think YouTube counts for IMDb now. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, IMDb like the standards went.
IMDb has just gone into the shitter. Like as a guy, got on the internet in '93. Yeah. Right. Like I can say IMDb is in the fucking shitter.
Do you remember I said to, I think it was Michael in our chat, where I was like, technically speaking, every podcast we do could be retitled as a documentary because there's a video component, and it could be just, you could say it's a documentary that's like sourcing the perspective of a local filmmaker. You know what I mean? And
oh my God.
IMDb I could put this on IMDb as a documentary, so and they would accept it.
It used to be useful. Like, how is it useful anymore as a tool for research or like?
I mean, it's still, the credits are real. It's just how credible. I mean, the Soda Milk movie's on there. It doesn't. I did that on purpose. The movie. I did that on purpose because it's funny that it has an IMDb page. But
I really hate to peel back the curtain. I don't want, like, you don't have to answer this. I don't want to know about the sausage. Was that a real phone call? Was he making? No. Oh, God damn it! Why'd you tell me that?
No. But okay. So the best part of the movie, which is it's really boring to watch, and to be fair, I want to say, like, Mike it was my idea to do the movie, and that it's him drinking a soda while he watches the movie Milk. I didn't tell him. I just told him to do whatever. For the entire movie. I didn't I was in this room while he was out there.
Did you picture him like sitting in front of the screen sipping a soda enjoying the movie?
Well,
and he's like, no.
Here's I'll give you a couple nuggets of stuff. What happened during that,
I want your nugs.
My nugs was I told Mike never to look in my direction when I walk out my door, but randomly I'm going to walk out. You can hear me too. I walk out, I'm going to slam doors really loud and make banging sounds. And I don't want him to ever react to
Pay any attention. Yeah.
And so you can hear me like bang. I scraped like my tripod against the wall just so there's odd sounds. Like, what the fuck is going on off camera? And that happens every now and then. And then I was like, do whatever you want. And so there's one time, which was a real thing that happened. So the phone call is fake, but he walks into the kitchen and he opens the ice box, the freezer, and apparently everything I had in there fell out onto the floor. And you can actually hear it in the movie. He opens it, it all crashes down to the floor. It wasn't Mike doing it for the movie. So you had to like pick it up, push it all back in. Meanwhile, the camera's just running with no one in the It's awesome. I was like, and he told me about it after it happened.
Oh,
but
man.
The best part is I was in here editing a podcast. And
you weren't even...
I didn't sit there the entire time. And you
made him a monster.
Well, he was watching a movie. I was like, literally, you just got to watch the movie Milk, which is a good movie. It's not
sure.
A good movie. And I remember because I was editing, I wasn't looking at Facebook, and you can see him at the very end. He's like typing and still trying to pay attention. He's literally typing, dude, where the fuck are you? The movie's about to end. You need to come and turn this camera off. So I'm not doing a second take. Because like literally the first 3 times I pushed record, when Milk started on the screen, Mike just started laughing, and I was like, dude, you can't do, if you get like half an hour in, we can't keep restarting, dude. It's terrible. So like he was so worried I wasn't gonna make it out there for when
this
the
movie
credits.
Sounds like a suicide pact or something. Like you guys
for something that YouTube banned on half the planet because it's a copy of Milk. Essentially,
right. Like the audio is all
it's terrible, but you can watch Milk technically through it, and for a joke that no one's gonna sit through. I was just like, it needs to happen, you know. And then Mike was like, what if the trailer was he's like, what if the trailer was just music and a shot of just the poster? We both that's like our humor. We were laughing way too hard at stuff that we're like, no one's gonna find this that funny.
Yeah, you had this idea when we were making Jenkins. Okay, so I don't know how much to tell.
I was wrong. I'm not.
No.
Wrong.
That's not. I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm not trying to. I thought it was a genius idea. I just thought, oh my god, your idea was so like the point of Jenkins is that everybody got assigned by accident.
Can we talk about that? Or we allowed?
We didn't talk about that. I don't know what we talk about. But anyway, your point, like everybody was working on an Exquisite Corpse project, and there was a big fuck up.
Right.
And so all the segments came back wrong through no fault of the filmmakers.
Right.
I'll say that much. I can say that much, right?
That's the premise. Yeah.
That's the premise. So your idea was that there would be maybe, like at one point you didn't even want this, but maybe one title card saying, hey, here's a problem that happened. Now watch the segments. And then just the segments playing back to back.
Like it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal.
And that's a hilarious movie to exist. I want to make it clear. That is a hilarious movie to exist. I don't think I would want to have my face attached to it too hard.
It's brutal. It's like a Soda Milk joke. It's so brutal.
Yeah.
I was like, no one would even want to watch it.
We need to figure out some way to make it happen in a way that's like something we can live with ourselves afterward. Because if we had just done that to these filmmakers, I don't think I could sleep at night.
No, you guys all should definitely not have listened to me, but it was funny. It's always
it's funny.
It's like the horse movie that I need to finish. But like it's like that because my plan is to finish the horse movie and actually try to submit it to festivals that are free.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want.
You want to spend less on it than the guy who sent me his fucking shit video,
right?
Okay.
But I just and it's like you look at my IMDb page and like I'd say like 80% of it is me making fun of filmmaking. It's like the whole Soda Milk is completely making fun of like YouTube. the horse thing would be me just being an asshole, like literally, like what the fuck? It's all footage. It's nothing. Yeah, I don't know why I'm like this.
I want to record a commentary track for that without ever having seen it before. Like when you finish it, send it to me and I'll record a commentary with no like first watch.
Yeah, right. If there was a Blu-ray, it should have like so many commentaries too, like an insane amount of commentaries. It's just like, why? What is this? Why does this exist?
It's got a second disc with all the commentaries on it because it doesn't fit. So you have to put that into a second Blu-ray player and hit play on it at the same time that you play the original movie on your first Blu-ray player.
So like, and that I like that sense of humor. Me and Mike are like interlocked. Like that's where we became friends. Yeah, like hard. Like
that was another one for the YouTube watchers right there.
Right. This is not available on YouTube. It's a personal DVD we made in 2006 for his girlfriend, who's now becoming his wife.
Oh, I guess
when she went to England for a time.
To British, you mean?
She went to British, and she met Kate there. No, she went to England, and we made this thing called Shannon the DVD, right? And it was this like 5-minute short with shittily made with action figures on my mom's table that tells the story of how much Mike loves her, and it's all cute and everything. And then there on the DVD, there's an hour-long documentary about the making of the 5-minute thing. Where it's me and Mike and our friend Ben, and just we're talking about the absolutely insane production of that thing. And there's also a music video and all this stuff. Like, and Mike and him play different parts and shit. Like that's, you know what I mean? Like that's what the joke was, is that it had nothing to do with it. We spent so much time on the making of. Like, so yeah, like that's what the horse thing would probably be to me. Like the making of is an actual movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to do that though.
I think about that sometimes. I think about like the idea, like how cool, how fun could you make a documentary about a movie that doesn't exist?
Right.
Because I feel like people try that sometimes. Like I don't know. Like there was one I saw at horror festivals 2 years ago. Fuck, I can't even remember what it's called. Never mind. Fuck it. Cut that out.
I'm not cutting any of it out.
You're not cutting any of this out.
No, but like some of it, I think they're like with 48-hour films, especially, there's always that group that does like the meta idea, and they don't. Yeah. It's kind of like a dad coming up with a meta idea. It's never like an actually meta thing. Like I used to do those 48 hours and those 29 days things all the time, and there was always that one that tried to do it. And the one time I wanted to do it, the damn festival got canceled. And what I was going to do was I told Victor about it because I wanted him to be in it. And it was going to be, I was going to make this insane trailer commercial for the snack bar that's always at the it's always at the place where they do the fest. And I was gonna like make a basically a commercial that was for that and talking about how like good and all they sold was beer and pretzels and like candy bars. But I was gonna make like an insane thing.
Named like three of my
favorite things, right?
Food groups, right?
Because I was like, that's the meta thing that I don't think anyone would do, right? They wouldn't make a commercial for a snack bar.
Yeah, well, I think one of the big mistakes with 48s. And I don't know whether this relates to the debacle at all. I think a lot of the debacle films really stand on their own. But one of the big mistakes about the 48 is that people go in thinking they're going to make a movie that will then go on and play festivals and stuff. And I think
it does sometimes.
Sometimes they land on it, but I think that the prompts and the requirements kind of hamstring you generally.
Yeah, right.
Like no matter how good this movie that I made with these guys is, like at some point I'm going to pick up a pair of fingernail clippers and brandish them menacingly. And like, no matter what else you think about the movie, that scene's going to make you go,
why is it doing that?
So I think that like, it sounds like you and I know Michael and Sophia, because I've watched a bunch of their 48s. They've really embraced the idea that 48s are a great experience if you hold them in that context of the 48, and you can just really have some goofy fun with it, you know. Like they challenged themselves. They did a particular 48 contest for however many years in a row, and every year they applied all the previous years prompts to themselves again, even though
Right.
they didn't get them. They're like, okay, well, last year we got this line of
This,
dialogue.
this,
We
and
got to say
this.
that
Yeah.
again, you know, and they didn't have to. They were
But
just
it
having
just
fun.
did. Or
They just
I've
did.
done. I think I told you this that made you actually angry at me,
Oh, no.
which that's the common thread. But I won like for a few years we were doing the 48s. I would just like we would literally like throw away at the beginning what the things were. Like they have a character just say shit and then just make
just get it out of the
just
way.
get it out of the fucking way and then just make our own thing. Like just throw it all in dialogue away.
It didn't make
me. We were young.
No. When I just want to say that, like, it didn't make me mad that you said that. It was important for me to hear that when I was designing the debacle.
Right.
Because so many of those fucking things are totally meaningless. Like I said, with the names, they tell you
it
to give
matter.
your character the name. The name doesn't matter. Nobody gives a shit about the name. They give you a prop. The prop, I've seen people put props on a bookshelf behind one of the characters talking. Like, what does that matter?
It's stupid.
It's stupid. It doesn't mean anything. So,
and honestly, back then for us, it was just the fact that it was going to show in a theater. We didn't care about winning, and so that stuff didn't matter to us. It was just, dude, you pay $120 to get a theater screening.
Should I charge that for?
No, don't. That was a rip. That was a rip then. It was a rip then. Now it's like $200, right? So,
man, so you're saying I should charge $250?
If you do, I'm not doing it. I mean, why would I made Time Away for $200?
I think I already said on social media somewhere that the debacle was going to be $25 again, so I'm sort of stuck with that.
That's fine.
That's acceptable.
I mean,
even though I could be getting
6
or 10 times that.
This year, I'm going to pay $25 to film my own shit and send it to you. That is absolutely what is happening.
Oh, dear God. Listen, anybody listening right now, if you want to troll me, and you want to spend your money to send me a video of your own shit, fine. Just make it longer than 5 minutes so that you bump up a category in the time frame. I
remember when you told us there was no time limit. It was like mind blowing. It was like, what?
For the debacle,
Jesus Christ. And I think there was some movies that tested those reigns.
Yeah, there was a movie. There was at least one that was like half an hour long.
Right? So,
and it had a lot of a naked dude in it,
which is fine. But
I mean,
a half an hour. The flow of the actual screening.
It is. It's hard to program. Yeah.
It changes the whole flow.
I guess I'll have to think about that again. God damn it.
I mean, you could put a maximum. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. But I mean, I almost want to just send you a shot of my own. I can't do it now. A shot of my own shit first. Be like, oops, the wrong file. It's like,
I had a buddy of mine. He was doing some editing for me, and he gave me my drive back. And I'm going through my video files, and I'm looking at everyone. It's like, there's take 7, there's take 8, there's shot 42. There's a dick coming straight at the camera. What? Fuck. And I talked to him about it, and he was like, "Oh shit, my bad."
Wait, so it was like a personal video?
Yeah, he had, I don't know if he copied it by, I'm gonna assume the best that he was copying the files back from his computer and accidentally grabbed the video. Like, his face is on there. It's just like the dick is pointed straight, like the urethra is pointed straight at the camera, and there's not even any time. He cut it perfectly, so it's not like there's no stroking. It's just video comes on straight at the camera. That's
a really weird set. Like to send to something, really, like was he sending it to a partner or something? Like
he and his wife have a thriving sexual relationship. I don't
but like not even the rubbing, just the spurting. Okay.
Yeah, like the spurt's the important part, right? They call it the money shot. Right?
I know, it's just you'd think there'd be some buildup or something. Like,
yep. If there had been buildup, I would have moved away from that file before I mean, no, I wouldn't have.
How many times did you watch it?
I don't really think that's important to talk about. I did delete it from my drive, and I sort of regret that.
I mean, was he with how he didn't care, did he?
That I saw his dick? No, he didn't care.
Well, I guess you really kind of just saw his cum.
Oh, I saw the dick. Like, it was a good angle, like balls and thighs, like we started with dicks, we're ending with dicks.
It's ending with dicks. What else did you need to plug?
Fucking Fat Fleshy Fingers.
Fat Fleshy Fingers.
If you have somehow listened to the last 3 hours of this nonsense and thought, you know what?
Yeah.
I'd really like to see a movie produced by this fucking weirdo. I am producing a feature-length film. It is an anthology film where every segment is directed by a Sick and Wrong alum filmmaker.
Alumni.
Fuck. Well, I changed it to singular because I fucked it up. Anyway, whatever. All the segments are directed by people who've had movies at the Sick and Wrong Film Festival. We are running a Kickstarter for the month of June. It's open right now. You can find us on Kickstarter. That's the most important thing. This is the biggest thing I want to plug. Kickstarter has labeled us one of their projects we love. So you don't have to worry about a web address. Just go to Kickstarter and look for Fat Fleshy Fingers. 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 It's a Neutral Milk Hotel reference. And that's one of the threads that'll be running through the movie is Neutral Milk Hotel references.
And if anyone feels like it,
right,
to donate $1,000 in my name, like they mentioned me.
Right, just put no reward and then send me a message.
And send him a message. Then I get to be at the end after the credits where I smack my own ass and said, "Spanks for watching."
Right.
Steven said this would happen. So if anyone listening has $1,000 to donate, you're donating to independent film, number one.
Yes, you're creating a great film. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
The filmmakers, go find Sick and Wrong on social media because I'm introducing filmmakers all the time. It's been fucking like the roster of filmmakers I have is incredible. And I'm really excited about this.
Also, I just want to be at the end because I have nothing to do with it. It's like, who the fuck is this guy?
This dude who shows up slapping his ass.
Thanks for watching. Yeah.
And
so yeah,
if they give $2,000, we'll end it with your Def Leppard ass screaming video.
I mean, that's amazing. Come on.
How could you turn that down?
I like how that you said this is okay and you didn't consult anyone.
Nope.
At all. I mean, it's after the credits, so
it's after the credits. There, yeah.
All right. The Def Leppard ass screen has music though.
Oh. All right. Well,
I mean, we could take
2,000 plus the cost of the licensing.
Actually, if it's less than 9 seconds, do you need the license?
I don't know what the rules are.
I'm sure Michael would know.
Michael will know.
Yeah. All right. Well, either way, somebody who has thousands of dollars,
$1,000
in my name, and we'll figure something out.
We'll get some Bob.
If I can get Steven's movie $1,000 for something that dumb, that'd be amazing. And then there's you already plugged the debacle and Sick and Wrong.
Submissions are open for Sick and Wrong right now.
Yeah.
Sick and Wrong Film Festival. We're just sickandwrongfilm.com. Sick Wrong Film, or just go to Film Freeway and find us there. And
your movies can be seen where? On Vimeo primarily, right?
A good portal is demonskull.org.
Okay.
Demon Skull because Stephen Stull kind of rhymes with Demon Skull.
Kind of. Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, yeah.
Shut up, you. I
didn't
come up with that. Thunder Grunt. Dick ass.
It doesn't rhyme with my name, though. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
There's no good words that rhyme with Steven, like hard masculine rhyme with Steven. So I went with a slant rhyme. Demon.
Even. It's like even. You got even.
I just really don't want people saying Stefan. My name's not Stefan.
Oh man, you should have been at like Peven Balls.
Oh my god.
Pevenballs.com.
Wow. All right. So if anybody pitches in $20,000 to the campaign,
I will change
my website to Peven Balls.
And there has to be a thing where you click on one of the links and it takes you to the video of me spanking my own ass.
Yes, absolutely.
$20,000 is a lot for that, but okay.
Well, it's because I don't want to do it.
What about 5? Would you agree to 5?
5,000?
That's for the movie.
Peven Balls. Ugh. How long by contract? How long do I have to keep it at
2 years?
Balls? 2 years. Nobody goes to websites
anyway. Who goes to websites?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. $5,000. $5,000. Peven Balls.
So 1,000, 2,000, 5,000. It's all Bob prize if anyone goes.
Yeah, just 1,000, 2,000, or 5,000. Then message me saying I want the Bob prize, the $5,000 Bob prize.
Man, I hope somebody who's super rich hears this and like, I gave
do a lot of the 1% listen to your podcast? No.
No, not at all. If you go 100,000, I'll come right at the camera and then we can.
Oh, all right. Well, the movie just tanked.
It's after the credits.
After
the character in the movie looks like a penis anyway.
Well, yeah, my Spoogie.
Spoogie looks like a parasite.
Spoogie, the parasite. We didn't even talk about Spoogie. God damn it. Go find the campaign,
It's
please.
on the campaign page.
It's on the campaign page. Yep.
Yeah, so anyone listening, I've donated. I donated so much, Stephen told me to stop donating.
I did tell you to stop donating.
Because I thought because you said during your birthday thing, you were like,
yeah,
everyone donate. And I was like, well, if I just up it, then I qualify.
Yeah, it didn't work out the way I thought it was, but you have a sickie. You just have to get it back from Mike. Like, that was the big prize.
Well, that's Mike's. I let him have that.
So you wanted my other spare?
I don't know. If I'm watching something and there's a way to win something, I just try, even regardless if I won or not. I actually want the hat.
Something. You wanted the hat, right? You do want. Okay, good.
I want the hat. Yes, I want the hat. I want the hat. So, all right.
Still have hats.
Is that you probably want to get sometime with your life before this day ends?
With that woman back there has been.
Yes. I wasn't going to call her that woman.
That woman. Sure. Raise your hand, that woman. She's waving.
She's in this entire podcast.
She's been in this, except for the time she stepped out of frame to like turn on the lights and stuff. Yeah, she's been here this whole time.
Yeah, I think we plugged everything and we covered penises and Michael Bay and stuff. I can't remember anymore. I'm old and done. So,
if you were to shrink the Earth to the size of a cue ball, the Earth would actually be smoother than the cue ball.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Microscopic pits and valleys and stuff on top of the surface of the cue ball, and the Earth is actually not very pointy. Like you picture it with these big mountains pointing up, but they're like relative to the surface area of the Earth. Those mountains and shit are pretty fucking low.
No, I was asking why you said that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why I said that.
Okay, all right.
I just want to leave your viewers with something. Your listeners.
I also feel like I want to plug the Jenkins Facebook page, but there's nothing on it.
There's nothing there yet. I got to get a film festival selection first.
I keep telling people I made a movie,
and they don't believe you because
all my friends are used to me just like, oh, here's the YouTube link.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to prove I made a movie. You know what I mean?
Well, we did. I can vouch, if you trust either of us, I can vouch that Bob was an integral part of the transformations of the Doctors Jenkins, which no one who wasn't on the movie will ever say in its entirety.
Or possibly ever see in its entirety. But yeah, it's going to be in festivals. That's what we're waiting for, because we're hoping we're going to climb the rung of Hollywood with it. And
we got our fingers crossed for Cannes.
Yeah, we'll be in Cannes Festival. We're going to win the Golden Lion or whatever the hell it is.
Isn't the Palme d'Or over at Cannes?
Yeah, we're going to win that with a Zoom movie. And a bunch of no-budget cell phone videos.
But it's not all cell phones.
No, it's not. It's not. I mean,
mine's a GoPro.
Mine's a camcorder, so we're gonna win.
Yours is After Effects.
Yeah, but the actual video of me is like the shittiest camcorder I own. Man, I was in a dark place when we were making that. Anyway.
Yeah, that's a long time ago.
It feels like it was years ago.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, oh yeah, I remember the days of Jenkins.
I can't even believe I did anything. I was in such a hole, you know. All right. Well, I think that's it. I mean, you got anything else you want to say to the listeners of Prince Night?
You could fit all the planets in our solar system in the space between Earth and the moon.
Now you sound like an edgelord. Well, actually,
no. You asked me what the fuck am I supposed to say? Come to sickandwrongfilm.com. Find Fat Fleshy Fingers. That's the most important thing. Fat Fleshy Fingers. When you wake up screaming in the middle of the night from your nightmare, I want you to shout Fat Fleshy Fingers, and then go listen to In the Airplane Over the Sea, because one of the perks that I consulted with none of the other filmmakers on. One of the perks is that you can throw in some money and we will make an album, a video karaoke album of the entire In the Airplane Over the Sea, which was the Neutral Milk Hotel album that Fat Fleshy Fingers came from.
Are everyone you ask fans of Neutral Milk Hotel?
Like, lots of people are fans of Neutral Milk Hotel, but
I'm talking about the people involved.
Everyone I've talked to so far about it is a fan.
Okay.
I haven't quizzed everybody.
Okay.
But yeah, we're all, and the lyrics on In the Aeroplane Over the Sea are magnificent in their breadth and poetry, and it's not going to be hard to find lyrical references to use for filmmaking.
I know where you can get some stock footage.
I know a guy.
I mean, honestly, my account is just shared on Michael's, so it's Michael.
It's my yes.
Michael J. Epstein. Let's plug him. He's on 900 Facebook pages. You go to Facebook, you type in Michael J. Epstein. There's literally like a ton of pages that make no sense.
If you type what Trump, his name comes up like as one of the
Really?
Yeah, he did some good stuff, man. I don't know about Trump is still there, but there's some other stuff where he got it
associated with that.
No, he was trolling people. He wanted his name to come up when people were trying to type things that he thought were stupid. So that you're
probably asking yourself, who is this guy? And he recently wrote a book about Bigfoot. He loves Bigfoot. Every he knows so much about Bigfoot, and you can.
What's the name of his book about Bigfoot, Bob?
Bigfoot probably doesn't exist.
There's no probably.
Is there not a problem? I thought there was a probably.
No, it says Bigfoot doesn't exist. Isn't that? Oh shit!
Now we're getting it wrong.
Now everybody's wondering why, if this Michael J. Epstein character is so interesting, why isn't he the one on the podcast?
I'll have him on eventually.
Have him on in June so he can plug Fat Fleshy Fingers because he's one of our filmmakers.
Well, I'll do that.
Let me go to the thread. Let's get him on right now. I'll jump out and then you can tag him in. Do another 3.5 hours.
Taking one episode. And I literally, if he's on, I'm gonna put like Bigfoot expert Michael J. Epstein.
Yes.
Just because he once said that his book makes everyone think he knows about it. When it's not even remotely about that. Yeah. And he also hates feet.
Yeah. You should get him to show off his new Psycho Gorman tattoo.
Yeah, he loves Psycho Gorman and Bigfoot. And he hates Phantasm. It's like the worst
oh god,
stupid dream. It all was a dream bullshit.
It's all a dream bullshit.
No one gets any of these jokes. All right, we're just making
all right.
Stephen, thank you so much. I'm glad you finally came on my show instead of me coming on yours. The last time we podcasted was so contentious. This was a great
and it was
cleanser.
all my fault.
It was both of our faults.
It was largely your fault.
I've been on you. But anyway, last thing I'll to plug is
my podcast.
Yeah, we didn't fucking plug your podcast. What the hell's wrong with us? Stephen has a podcast called The Hold Up with Stephen Stull. I've been on it 4 times. Howard the Duck. What is it? Howard the Duck, Freddy Got Fingered.
Some kind of wonderful. Freddy Got Fingered.
And then there was a 4th one, I think.
There's probably a 3rd or 4th one in there somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
The Howard the Duck one's like 6 hours long.
Yeah,
it's
that's
absurd.
a long one. It was before I was breaking them up, and still it was too long.
I want to actually go back and listen to Some Kind of Wonderful because I remember we did it at the beginning of the pandemic, and was.
You were fucking grim. I mean,
I was
you
in a
were
place.
right. You were right.
I was right, but I was in a place because I was not hopeful about life at all.
I just remember the feeling I had in my stomach when you're like, "Oh, you're not having your festival." Like you said that on that podcast. And
I was right about that.
I mean, we had it. We just didn't.
No, but do you remember? I specifically remember at the end of that podcast when we both were like, "Well, bye," and we both were saying bye in a way that was like. We could die.
That's right.
It's like this could be it.
This could be it.
Yeah, it's dark. Yeah.
Oh man. And for a movie that is not dark.
No, the movie, we both loved the movie and we had a really good time talking about it. But then the ending was just like, well, the world's gonna end.
So bye. It's been fun.
Anyway, The Hold Up with Stephen Stull.
Yeah, you have to search for the whole thing because I'm really bad at naming things like we discussed already.
Right. So if you just want to listen to my episodes, they're there. He probably talked to other people. It doesn't matter.
I probably talked to other people. I've had 110 goddamn episodes, motherfucker. All right, that's fine. And I swear at least this much on every one of those. So sorry if you're sensitive.
Swearing doesn't matter. That's fine.
I know you just like haven't sworn this entire time, and it's making me a little self-conscious.
Ass, piss. What do you want me to say?
Feel a little better. That makes me a little bit better.
You're actually monitoring my swearing?
I know. Yeah. Well,
Really?
when Jen first met me, she thought I was dumb because I swore too much.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, she thought I was dumb. It took her like a year of working with me to realize that I'm actually not dumb.
A year?
Did it take a year? She says it didn't take a year, but she didn't start dating me for a year. So like, I think it took a year.
It was because you were saying like too many cuss words?
Yeah, she thought I was, she had it in her head that people swore as much as I do are stupid.
I mean,
I swear a fucking lot, and I'm really fucking smart. So, you know, I sort
I
of
mean, you're a
rocked her
member of
whole-
MENSA, you know.
Oh my God.
So
That's true. That's sadly true.
oh my God, that's the title now. MENSA.
My Mensa friend, Stephen. Fuck.
No, it'll be MENSA's Stephen Stull.
Mensa Stephen Stull. Nice. They'll love that. I'll get National to approve it. They'll.
Are you're actually a member though, right?
Yeah, I'm a member.
So I could do that.
I mean, you could. It would. Every time. Listen, when I mention Mensa to people, 75% of the reaction is, "Huh? What's that?" And then like another 10% is, "Oh, is that the kitty diddlers?" And like, I have to
They
explain.
think you're a member of NAMBLA?
Right, man, it fucking kills me. I'm like, no, just forget I said anything.
Why would you be telling people that?
Right.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a member of NAMBLA. It's fine. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Not. I'll make the title Stephen Stull, not a member of NAMBLA.
No, great.
That way on Google.
Jesus.
It says
Although
not.
you've never asked me whether I was a member.
Are you?
No. Jesus.
Okay.
God, no.
Okay, good. Then there's nothing to worry about.
There's nothing to worry about.
So the title
I
shouldn't
wonder,
affect your life.
do they pay dues?
I don't know. Like, it's a club, right?
I mean, I pay
How do they
dues
get
for
to
Mensa.
operate without like the police interfering?
Man, I don't even fucking know.
Work like
It's
that?
got maybe it started as an FBI sting operation, and they were like, "Hey, let's create this thing, and we'll draw some stupid pedophiles in." And then like so many showed up. The FBI was like, "Fuck!"
Oh man, well this is like a legit thing.
Where's your shame, you idiots?
Like what the hell? Like how are they not like carpet bombed or something by people? That doesn't make sense to me that NAMBLA can exist.
Right.
I guess the KKK exists though, right?
Oh, God, that's true.
This got heavy at the very end.
Jesus, bro. We should have killed it when we were. You had to bring up Mensa, didn't you, you motherfucker?
You brought up NAMBLA.
I did.
Which is funny because the person that said that, what did they think Mensa stood for? Men.
No,
What's the?
I think they didn't. I don't think they thought about it too hard. They were like, "Oh, it's some organization that ends in A and Steven's in it." Yeah, I guess I could see kitty diddlers.
This is the small men in their mind where they're like, he loves having sex with kids, and he's proud of it and joined an organization. Okay.
Oh God, this is not true. God, you have to.
I won't put any of this in the search terms.
Oh well, thank you. I appreciate that much.
Donate to Fat Fleshy Fingers.
Yeah,
no affiliation with NAMBLA.
Oh no. Oh God.
Dude, that's amazing. Not affiliated with NAMBLA. Like on every time you advertise it, it just says at the very bottom.
It just says
not affiliated with
NAMBLA. Like it's really important that I emphasize this. Why is it so important that you emphasize this?
Yeah, why does everyone keep talking about NAMBLA? What are you're obsessed with it? Well, I just don't want anyone to think I'm involved.
I'm gonna get a T-shirt. We're gonna get some T-shirts made that say, "No, I'm not in NAMBLA."
I can make that.
No.
How about this? Fuck NAMBLA.
I mean, that
sounds worse.
I just like the suspicion of people walking up to you going, "Why do you feel the need to tell me you're not in NAMBLA?
Why are you so defensive about
why
the
is so defensive about that?" Yeah.
I am not in NAMBLA. Like,
oh man.
Why do people think you're in NAMBLA so much? Now you have me curious if they have meetings, but I can never look it up.
Yeah, go ahead, Google it. I'm not Googling it. You Google it.
No, I don't want to Google it.
Just go to incognito. It'll be safe.
My guess is NAMBLA never truly had a true thing. It's just like it was so popular with like jokes.
Yeah.
they never had like meetings where they're all drinking coffee and talking.
Yeah, they're like in the high school gym after hours, like your AA, only it's
what building or venue would let them meet?
They probably just tell them, oh, we're in Mensa.
What is the crossover Venn diagram of Mensa members and NAMBLA members?
I promise you, having been to these fucking things, I promise you it is not none.
So now you're
listen, okay, I'll throw a plug out that I get nothing out of. Like, I get no benefit out of this. I will just throw a plug out real fast. There's a woman, a very talented writer, journalist, and comedian named Jamie Loftus, who did a mini-series podcast called My Year in Mensa. And it is a fantastic expose of how fucking toxic Mensa is.
Okay.
It's incredible. And she's great. She's hilarious and heartfelt, and she's amazing. You should listen to her stuff anyway. But she has I think 4-parter called My Year in Mensa, and it's amazing.
All right, the plug for Jamie Lotus's My Year in Mensa. Jamie Loftus's
My Year in Mensa.
My Year in Mensa.
And then occasionally some Fat Fleshy Fingers, please, for the love of Christ.
Listen to the Hold Up, donate to Fleshy Fingers, which has no
affiliation. It's hard to say.
No affiliation with NAMBLA at all.
Oh, none.
None.
Bob just killed Fat Fleshy Fingers. It's all over.
If you donate $200,000, the end after the credits, it's just a big thing comes up that says not affiliated with NAMBLA.
No.
200,000 though.
200,000 to just like brand ourselves as
not affiliated with NAMBLA.
Pedophiles. Oh God. Like, you shouldn't have to. It's one of those things you shouldn't have to say.
I know, I'm kidding. It's terrible.
Walk up to people and say, "Hi, nice to meet you. I've never kicked a 6-year-old in the cunt before." Oh, great. I'm glad you haven't. Why would you say that?
It's a really great line of t-shirts that are just like super defensive out of nowhere. Like, what?
No, I don't poop on a cat. What are you talking about?
I've never masturbated to Instagram. Like,
well,
like, that's a kind of an amazing shirt, because then it's like,
did he?
Well, no,
Why
it's
not?
like, who would truly wear that? We're just both admitting we've masturbated to Instagram. This needs to end now.
Fat Fleshy Fingers is more important than any of this. Fat Fleshy Fingers.
Fat Fleshy Fingers. I'll make links to all the stuff on thundergrunt.com on the post for this this episode.
This debacle.
Literally
this travesty.
It's like 4 hours long or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you still didn't.
I'm supposed to eat ice cream tonight, man.
I mean, I think Jen's probably mad at me for keeping you this long.
Yep. Look at her. She's nodding. She's mad at you.
Is she mad at me? I'm sorry, Jen. All right, we'll stop. All right, Stephen, thank you. I love
Thank you, Bob.
And yeah, we'll talk online about how badly this went.
Sounds good.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, man.
No, we'll never speak of this again. Right?
I need, and I need to take a shit. So this is a perfect time.
Perfect.
This is perfect. All right, dude. I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye, Bob.
Bye, man.